right, thank you so much. We will start on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. As a member of Toastmasters International and my club, I promise to attend club meetings regularly, to prepare all of my projects to the best of my ability, basing them on the Toastmasters education program, to prepare for and fulfill meeting assignments, to provide fellow members with helpful constructive evaluations, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow, to serve my club as an officer when called upon to do so, to treat my fellow club members and our guests with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to club members so they can see the benefits Toastmasters membership offers, to adhere to the guidelines and rules for all Toastmasters educational and recognition programs, to act within Toastmasters' core values of integrity, respect, service, and excellence during the conduct of all Toastmasters activities. Let's please give ourselves a round of applause. We just made a huge promise. And to start us off today, I would share the ground rules and the flow of the contest. So the flow is simple. We will start with the opening remarks. We take the international speech contest, we do the contestant interview, we go for a short break, we come back, we take the test speech for the evaluations contest, we run the contest, we close it, we do the contestant interview, then we take the announcement for the awards, we take the closing remarks, and we go. The agenda will be shared on the chat box, and it will be shared regularly for the benefit of the people coming into the meeting later. Now, the ground rules are three, just three of them. Number one, please stay muted unless you are asked to speak. The second is, let us not applaud the contestants until after the contests are over. The contest chair will give us that nudge. And the third time, this is a rule. The third rule is have fun. Now, fellow Toastmasters and guests, I will like to call the division director to give us the opening remark. The division director is someone who we all know. She's someone I personally respect a lot for what she has done for Toastmasters. I respect her a lot for her person, who she is. And I respect her for what she is yet to offer, because, I mean, this is division director. I envision district director, international president rather, even CEO of Toastmasters, if that position is up for grabs, right? So fellow Toastmasters and guests, she is a strategically minded finance professional with over 10 years of experience. She joined AWN Toastmasters Club in 2016. She has served at the club, area, and division level. Here to give us the opening remarks, fellow Toastmasters, is distinguished Toastmaster Chidi Chukwudimadu. Please let's give her a round of applause. Let's be applauded, so it would be wise of us to give her a big one so that she would give us the remarks. Chidi, over to you. Division Director, is the applause not enough? All right.
She needs some more.
Let's give her more. If you can't give her a physical one, let's do the emojis.
Thank you very kindly for that warm introduction. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. You see, it's interesting because Toastmaster Abubakar knows me so well. If I don't get appreciated, I probably would just stay behind the counters and allow us wonder, is she going to show up? Is she not going to show up? What's happening at this point? But I'm going to show up. Don't worry, I'll show up. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guys. It's the Division F, International Speech and Evaluation Contest. And our contestants this afternoon have put in the work required to make it to this point. They've excelled. They've come out as champions at their respective clubs and area contests. And today they are here to serenade us and to enthrall us with speaking speeches. I appreciate everyone who is here at this point and for everybody who has put in work to ensure that today's event comes off as a good show. To all our contestants, kudos, and to every member of Division F that is here, Division E, Division K, District 94 executive who are here to ensure that today's contest is a success. Thank you for being here, and thank you to everyone, our guests who are here with us today. I promise that this will be a very exciting meet. This will be a very enthralling meet because we have the best of the best waiting to showcase what they have learned, the skills they have been able to grab through Toastmasters. So sit back, relax, and just enjoy the show. That's what you're here for. Enjoy the show. And at the end, please let's celebrate our contestants because it's not easy to participate in a contest. If you think it's easy, feel free to just join the bandwagon and experience the thrill, the anxiety, the rush of adrenaline that comes with competing in a contest or participating in a contest. So like I said, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show that Division F is bringing your way this evening, this afternoon. Thank you so much for helping us make this become a reality. You have control of the event.
Thank you so much. Let's please applaud her, otherwise she will not leave. Applauses. Thank you so much for that, Didi. I am enjoying myself already. I look forward to a great contest. And if you had enjoyed that opening remarks, prepare yourself because this person I'm going to call our speech contest master or contest mistress is another distinguished Toastmaster. She's a teacher, she's a mother, she's a communication consultant and a spoken word artist. She is the founder of Mind Studio, which is an online performance personal development platform. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, who am I referring to? Now, like Madam Didi, she also likes to be applauded. So if you want to get this contest going, let us give her a big round of applause. Let's give welcome to distinguished Toastmaster Toju Cole.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Toastmaster Abubakar, your warmth is unprecedented. Thank you so much for the warm introduction. Thank you, Division Director, distinguished Toastmaster Chidi. Thank you so much because you've all set the stage for me. So it makes my job very easy and very swift. So welcome everyone to the International Speech Contest, Division F, District 94. I hope you're all excited because I am. I think this is the first time that I'm liaising with your division. So I am sure I'm going to be wowed by the caliber of speakers today. I will start by congratulating all the contestants for the great achievement in representing your clubs here today. Like your division director has mentioned, it's not easy. It's not easy contesting. You have the butterflies in your stomach and you're nervous, but the beautiful thing about coming into contest is that you get to grow, you get to expand. And that's really the idea behind contests at the Toastmasters International. The whole idea is to ensure that members are able to grow, they're able to develop when they come on the contest stage. A lot of work has been taken into preparing for this contest. And so it's our task to ensure that everything runs smoothly for all the contestants. As the moderator, Toastmaster Abubakar has mentioned, he had mentioned the ground rules already, so I'm not going to repeat them. But what I'm going to do now for the benefit of our audience, for the guests, and also for Toastmasters alike, I am going to go ahead to go through swiftly some of the rules for the International Speech Contest. All the contestants have confirmed their eligibility in writing already, so that has been taken care of. The speaking order for the contestants was determined earlier, actually yesterday by ballots, so the contestants are aware of their speaking orders. So I'm not going to run through the speaking orders because they're aware of that and they know the orders in which they'll be coming. Also, the contestants have been informed of the timing signal. Obviously, we're using Zoom, so they're familiar with how the timing signal operates, and we've had the dry run, so they are aware of how the timing signal operates. But if for any reason during the contest you're having any issues, please feel free to notify us so that we're aware of any difficulties that you may have. All the contestants and the judges have been briefed on the rules of the contest. For the international speech contest, the contestants can select any topic which must be substantially original. That is crucial, right? It must be substantially original. And the speech timing is 5 to 7 minutes. Contestants will be disqualified if they speak for less than 4 minutes, 30 seconds, or more than 7 minutes, 30 seconds. Please note, contestants, that the timing will begin as soon as the first verbal or non-verbal communication is made with the audience. Once any form of communication is made with the audience, then your timing begins. Please take note of that. The green light will show at 5 minutes, the yellow at 6 minutes, and the red at 7 minutes. Please, contestants, be aware that there will be no signal for overtime, right? You will not be prompted as you were prompted when the signaling for the timing demarcations were done. Then after that, the contestants, once the contestants finish, each contestant, there will be a 1 minute silence between the speakers for the judges to collate their scores. If for any reason there is any form of protest, right, the protest will be limited to judges and contestants, and any protest must be lodged with the chief judge and the contest chair. So on that note, I'm going to call on the chief judge, distinguished Toastmaster Oluyemi Adeosun, who is the immediate past Division F director. He's a HR professional, and apparently he's the tallest Toastmaster in District 94. I'm not quite sure about that, but I will take his word for it to advise us on the requirement for participation. So is the chief judge available? If you can kindly unmute him.
Thank you so much, Madam Contest Chair. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you'll be coming to Senegal. We will meet face-to-face live in Senegal, and you'll be able to verify that assertion. My pleasure and privilege to be the chief judge of this august occasion for this segment. My courtesies and respect to the division director and all the senior people on this call. Also appreciate our guests. Let me just go direct to the point. Today, I'll be introducing the role players. You've already met me. I'm the chief judge. Of course, there are other judges working behind the scene, making sure we have excellent evaluation and to ensure we select the most capable representative for the respective locations. Our timekeeper today, our accurate timekeeper, is no other person than Toastmaster Francis Eibe. Also, we have a counter. Our counter today is Toastmaster 7 Joy Jumbo. Toastmaster 7 Joy Jumbo will be our counter for today. Lastly, but not the least, the sergeant at arms for today is Toastmaster Lawrence Nolly. Toastmaster Lawrence Nolly. And that's the brief about the role players for today. I'd like to hand over to the contest chair. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Beautiful. Thank you so much to our chief judge. Just one question I'm going to ask you, but I'm sure this has been done because you have just mentioned all the role players. So have all the role players been informed their roles? Are all the contestants and role players eligible to contest?
Yes, please.
So it's a yes or a no?
Yes, please.
Yes, they are. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. So a round of applause for our Chief Judge. Thank you so much for your service. And now, excellent. So now we are ready then. We will be proceeding straight into the international speech contest. So let the contest begin. So I'm going to start with the contestant 1. Can you confirm that your mic is unmuted and that you have pinned the timer? Contestant 1, can you confirm your mic is unmuted and that you have pinned the timer?
Good afternoon. Yes, I can confirm that.
You can confirm that, and you have pinned the timer.
Yes, I have.
Wonderful. Chukwu Emeli Ogweniba, life. Chukwu Emeli Ogweniba.
It was the Danish philosopher, theologian, and poet, Søren Kierkegaard, who said, and I quote, "Life is not a problem to be solved. Life is a reality to be experienced." The contest chair, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, I'd like to ask you, what is life? In the year 1994, on a Tuesday morning of November 1st, a new life was birthed into the earth. There were joy and tears in the delivery room when Chukwu Emeli emerged. And 27 years later, trying to understand life, I would like to show you a mirror into my realities. First, March 2004. On a jolly Sunday morning, this 10-year-old walked his way towards church. At the time, it was their custom because home wasn't far away from church at all. And as he walked and got really close to church, he turned to cross the road. But he woke up in a hospital. He had heard loud voices while he was in a dark room and felt the gushing wind. But at the point when my eyes did open, it was to realize that I had no pants on, no shirt, and a bloody face. This was very shocking, embarrassing, and painful, all in one moment. And even more so for my parents. Life in itself had shown them that it is full of unforeseeable circumstances and events. But they grabbed their son, Chukwu Emeli. They took him home through rehabilitation and healing. I did learn to walk again, and I gained my smile again. I smiled back straight into school and finished primary 6 and headed straight into secondary school. Wow, a very interesting moment and time in my life. And I remember when I had risen to SS1, the maths teacher walked up to me and he said, "People that wear glasses are usually smart, but I can't tell the same about you." These words to a young 14-year-old. But he wasn't wrong at all, because in that term, I did finish further mathematics with an amazing 28.5%. It was my first taste out of the pie of failure that life had to offer. But it didn't deter me. I went at furthermore term after term after term, and by graduation, I was top 5 best student in further mathematics. What a way to bounce back. And I bounced right into university. I sailed through it smoothly and earned my bachelor's degree in electrical engineering, the second class upper division. Straight into the job market I went. And when I did find a job, instead of focusing on the job, I focused on love. Oh, it was beautiful. It was amazing. It was everything you're imagining right now, and even more. Except for one thing. It didn't last long. It was short. And on April 1st, 2018, an arrow was shot straight to my heart, causing me pain, grief, and sorrow. It was quite unbearable, but it is part of life. Because life could come with sorrowful moments. And in those moments, I drew strength from friends, well-wishers, and my family. And months later, I was back in the ring, this time at the gym, punching bags. And I got through it. It also put me straight in my fitness journey and in my life as a whole. 27 years down the line, here I am, full of experiences, some beautiful, some sorrowful, but all memorable. Because life is beautiful. Life could be complicated. But life is what you make of it. So I ask you, would you look at life and view all the problems to be solved? Or would you experience life and all its reality? Because that is life. The contest chair.
Thank you so much, Contestant 1. It's important that we encourage our contestant, and I would like us to encourage them by using the emojis. Rather than unmuting, you can use the applause sign. Once they've finished giving their speech, you can put the emoji signifying a round of applause so that they're able to see that we've heard them and we have enjoyed their speech. So moving on to the next contestant, Contestant 2, can you confirm that your mic is unmuted and that you have pinned the timer? Yes, oh, I love the eagerness you have. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Emmanuel, Emme, when life throws you.
Madam Contestant, apologies. We
Oh
have
my
1 minute of
goodness,
silence.
indeed. I am so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm so eager to hear our second contestant that I've forgotten to ask for the 1 minute of silence, please. 1 minute of silence so that our judges can fill in their ballots. 1 minute of silence, and then the timer, please, could you put 1 minute so I know once that 1 minute has elapsed. So bear with me, our second contestant. Excellent, thank you very much. So now on to our second contestant, who has confirmed that he has pinned the timer and he's unmuted. Emmanuel Eme, when life throws you lemons. When life throws you lemons, Emmanuel Eme.
Make lemonades.
When life throws you lemons. What if I told you that I love lemons? In fact, I eat them every day, every single day. And I'm also curious, who in the audience loves lemon the way I do? Put your hands up. No hands. Now I see you get the points. Contest chair, fellow contestants, and Toastmasters and guests. When life throws you a lemon. This saying has been used for decades, maybe centuries, to encourage those of us that life had dealt a bad hand. That is to say, for those of us who have received less than what the average person gets in life. So what are these proverbial lemons, you will ask me? I'll answer that question not just by telling you, but by showing you my basket full of lemons. Now, this is my story. There are three observations that I have come to understand about these proverbial lemons. One, I never asked for these lemons. Two, I didn't get the privilege to even bargain with life who gave them to me. And I was not even sure how to duck. I was not taught to duck as life began throwing all these lemons at me. How unfair life is. You want to hear about my lemons? My lemon story began way back before I was conceived. You see, I was born or conceived barely 1 year after that dreaded Nigeria Biafra civil war. That was my first lemon. My dad has served as a conscripted soldier in that side that lost the war. That was my second lemon. You see, I was not just born by a loser. I was born a loser and also had the unfortunate luck of being raised on enemy grounds. Now, I bet most of you listening to me right now have zero idea about what it must have meant in those days for someone from the Eastern extraction who lived in a place like Lagos just after the Civil War. The efforts we made, and people did make a lot of efforts. No matter the effort that we made, there was always that language litmus test to pronounce words like Obalende or words like Awolowo. Now, not many Easterners can pronounce those words the way I can. Yes, we're told that there were no victors and no vanquished, but when you have to live in advert poverty, then you will take very little imagination for you to realize who the vanquished were. Our living condition was horrible. We lived in a tiny one-bedroom apartment. The only seat in the room was a plank, and on top of two bricks that my mother salvaged, from a construction site just down the road. My life was filled with lemons everywhere. What about school? My first attempt to enroll in a public primary school down the road was met with another lemon. I was turned down, you see, because in those days, your arm had to go all the way around your head, touch your ear. That was how eligibility into schools were actually confirmed, not by birth certificates. So I grew up intimidated by my environment. I was bullied every single day in school. Names, I was called names that degraded my ethnicity and my person. I couldn't hide, you see. I had tribal marks on my face. I had a visible bow legs. Who asked for that? Who asked for those lemons? That was when I developed an embarrassing speech impediment sponsored by dyslexia. I'll tell you about that one in a short while. All through those days and years, I held on to my lemon because they were all that I knew and all that I had. I failed in almost every examination in school, but somehow I managed to gain admission into a newly established secondary school. You might be wondering, how did that happen? Well, you see, it was a new secondary school. They needed the student population, and I was available. I had no choice. I could not even turn them down. So you want to know how lemony my secondary school was? Let me tell you about my secondary school. To start with, the classroom had no doors, no windows, no ceiling. Don't even think about fans. It was like a chicken house. The one cemented floor that was there had turned into dust, and our feet were covered with dust every single day. But it was at that very period, this same period, that I began questioning my lemons and that hypothetical lemon giver called life. I began to question, and I asked questions. Let me ask you, audience, today, if you were told, or if you heard that beautiful word, when life gives you lemon, what do? The answer is you make lemonade. That's what people say. But today I tell you, no, I don't make lemonade with just lemons. Who has ever had anybody making lemonade with just lemon? Listen, if life throws you lemon, don't just stop there. Ask life for water. You need water for lemon. Ask life for ice. You need ice. Ask life for sugar. Ask life for a jug. That's what it takes to make lemonade. And don't give in to life. That was what I did. And my biggest lemon is called dyslexia. I didn't even know how to spell the word to start with. It affected my speech pattern, my handwriting, the way I spoke, every single thing about my life. But I looked at life in the face and said, listen, life, I have control over me. And I began changing. And I said, enough is enough. I learned to say no because I realized that my life is a product not of my environment or my lemons, but a product of my choices and what I do. So I began to change. And I began to grow. And I made secondary school valedictorian. I finished university in high honors. I began a PhD program. So when life throws you a lemon, what do? You look at life in the face and you say no, and you go to the market and buy yourself an entire food market. That's what I did. Thank you, Contestant Chair.
So now we have 1 minute, please, for the judges. 1 minute. Timer, please let me know once we have elapsed the 1 minute. Thank you, Contestant 2. When life throws you lemons, what do you do with them? That's a question for us to ponder on. When life throws you lemons, what do you do? What do you ask of life?
Contest is already a minute.
Okay. Contestant 3, can you confirm that your mic is unmuted and you have pinned the timer?
The mic is unmuted. I've pinned the timer.
Thank you. Olumide Ajibade, a moment, a special moment, Olumide Ajibade.
We've all, one time in our lives, prepared for a special moment to take an action, appreciate someone, or visit a place. What if the opportunity does not present itself? The contest here, special people, I didn't intend to scare you, but all my life, I prepare for special moments. I remember taking an appointment in an organization that I've reflected weeks of storming with my work ethics. Little did I know that jobs in Nigeria has no fairy tale. You either work or walk. After all, the job description states that ability to work under pressure. Hence, I was about throwing the towel when he held my hands. His words of encouragement came true for me. It was like a lullaby that rocks a baby to sleep. His name is Abbas, and he is the operations manager. Friends, I'm speaking about one of the special creatures you will find on earth. Abbas is caring, Abbas is compassionate, Abbas is kind-hearted. I knew I wasn't the only one singing this rendition about that impeccable personality after seeing his good deeds and walking in on random people, singing in spirit. An operations manager that does not only manages for the company, but manages the fears and frustrations of co-employees. Do we still have special people like that in droves around the world? What's more, he is not the type known for requesting favors. Nevertheless, one Tuesday afternoon, he invited everyone to his son's graduation ceremony. It was a special moment for him. There was an outburst of excitement. Everyone wanted to honor his invite. Shade, the PR manager, said, "I hope the university is in Lagos." Then Abbas dropped the bombshell. It was a primary school graduation of his 9-year-old son. The buzz fizzled out like the flame of a melted candle. From the background, I heard murmur, "Abbas not tried. Primary school graduation?" I didn't condemn the invite. I was generous enough to cook a valid excuse why I wouldn't attend, which others didn't do. They felt it wasn't a special moment. Nonetheless, even though no soul honored the invite, Abbas' charisma wasn't deterred. He ensures no one crosses his path. Goes back saying, "Parents need a son like you. Children require a father of similar character. Even ladies, we don't mind a man swap." On the flip side, no one has ever celebrated or commended him. I decided to be different because I've also inhaled the sweet savor of his magnanimity. Guess what I found out? His 40th birthday was 4 weeks away, so I kicked off the plan immediately. I wanted it to be a rare surprise and a special moment. Permit me to state it here. Now, one of the most annoying experiences in life is when people ruin your plan. On 16th November 2021, I picked my phone to upload a viral video, and I saw lots of people celebrating Abbas on their WhatsApp status and other social media channels. Obviously, that was planned. They beat me to it. It was when I perused further, I realized that the felicitations were eulogies. The special moment they chose to celebrate him was when his breath had ceased. It is more excruciating because I also left it too late. Ladies and gentlemen, are you waiting for the special moment to deliver that speech, call that family, appreciate your spouse, or commend a good citizen? The delectable contest chair, the accurate timer, and the distinguished judges can affirm I learnt my lessons. The sudden demise of Abbas has taught me not to count the days, but make the days count, because every day is a special moment. The contest chair.
Thank you, our third contestant. Thank you. So 1 minute, please, 1 minute of silence for the judges to fill their forms. Do you prepare for special moments? Do you prepare for special moments? Thank you very much. Contestant 3, Toastmaster Olumide Ajibade. So once is 1 minute timer, please let me know. Do we prepare for special moments? Thank you very much for that speech.
It's a minute, Madam Contest Chair, please.
Thank you very much. So now on to our fourth contestant. Can our fourth contestant confirm that your mic is unmuted and you have pinned the timer?
Hello.
Hello. Afternoon. Have you pinned the timer? Your
Yes,
mic is obviously unmuted. Beautiful, beautiful. Titilla, Ekundayo. Who am I? Who am I? Titilla, Ekundayo.
You know my name already. Many thanks to the contest chair. However, I love the sound of my name, so I'm going to tell you again. Good afternoon, Toastmasters. My name is Titilla Ekundayo. In this digital age, you can know a lot about me in a few minutes. Just Google it. You would find that I'm the host of the Abeg Who Send Me podcast, a podcast for entrepreneurs. You also find that I'm a food lover, I love books, and I love my friends and cherish them. Just recently, I started training on taekwondo. Favor, my friend of Junkie years, believes I'm going through a midlife crisis. I'm fresh in my 30s, like fresh agege bread. Midlife crisis because of taekwondo. Yes, I admit that the titilla in my teenage years would never have attempted it. I saw life only through the eyes of logic, and everything was either white or black. I wouldn't have tried it in my 20s either. My 20s was about charting a career path, and of course, the boys. Here I am now in my 30s, and I'm learning to do these things and navigate the gray area. I have changed so much in my short years that I've started to wonder Who am I? Who am I really? Because the fact that I love Coke tube bottle of Coke with oatmeal pie after a 30 minutes workout session means that I'm confused. Who am I? I love my mom. And I'm not seeing her in recent times. Yes, I call her once or twice a month. I send money regularly. She's only 15 minutes away. But it feels so far. However, every weekend, I take a 2 hours drive to chill with my guys. Who am I? My friends would describe me as driven, focused, a goal setter. But I've been trying to write the last 16 pages of my book for the past 6 months. A book that I should have launched last year. I just keep moving the deadline. Who am I? My colleagues will praise my talents. But I usually write all my successes as timing and good luck, because I find it hard to believe that I got it on merit. And I'm afraid that they will soon find that out. That imposter feeling, that conflict between self-awareness and how other people perceive me. Who am I? Who am I? Am I my intentions or my actions? Am I what I say or what I do? Am I the same person in the light and in the dark? Am I a product of my upbringing or of the society? Am I all of these things or none of them? Who am I? Who am I? Maybe the who am I question is supposed to take me on a journey through life. The great Greek philosopher, Socrates, says that the who am I question is a question to be asked with the intent to know and not to judge. For the purpose of this question is to know objectively. Researchers have shown that for those who ask this question through life, it helps them to be happy people. It helps to develop character. It helps to build critical thinking, fair judgment. It also helps them to confront their fears. Who am I? Who am I? So many questions, too little answer. I know the who I want to be, but I don't know who I am. What a paradox. Project management experts will always start projects with the end in mind and then work backwards. This would mean that since I know who I want to be, I need to start working on things that I need to do today so that I can be the who I want to be. Fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests, may I ask you a question? Who are you? The contest chair.
We have 1 minute, please, for the judges judges to fill in their forms. Thank you all for such speeches. Who am I? A question we should all ponder on. So 60 seconds, please. 60 seconds while the judges deliberate and fill in their forms. With such lovely speeches, there's so much to say, but I have to numb so that the judges can concentrate, because this task of judging isn't a small one. So all the focus is required for them to adequately fill in their comments.
It's already a minute. Just check.
Thank you. So Contestant 5, can you confirm your mic is unmuted and that you have pinned the timer?
Confirmed, Contest Chair.
Wonderful. Ediri Agagagovia. Power. Power. Edirin Agagagovia.
We can't hear you. Please unmute yourself.
Power. What is power? Is power something we are born with or something we pick up along the way? And how much power does one need to make a difference? Contest chair, Toastmasters, and guests. There are several elements to power, but which ones are authentic? Intelligence, physical strength, attractiveness, wealth, perceived power, the power that we give to athletes and performers. Now, is it power when a celebrity climbs the stage to assault another celebrity? Coercive power. Is it power when a leader orders his troops to invade another sovereign nation? How about reward power? Is it power when you ask your cook to share food with the security and he chooses to lord it over them like an oga? Are any of these power? Furthermore, how do you define when someone has power? I have a mentor who used to be regarded as a powerful woman. You see, she graduated from Harvard Law School as one of the top students and had a successful career as a lawyer. But in a moment of vulnerability, she confessed that some childhood challenges had left her feeling defenseless. And she was compensating for this feeling with an excessive show of dominance in the courtroom. This battle with childhood trauma is what was being perceived as power. Eventually, she resigned from this position because it was unhealthy for her. And this laudable decision greatly improved her mental health. However, it was viewed as a loss in power by her peers. I've since learned that this use of elements of power to compensate for things that we lack or believe that we lack is actually quite prevalent amongst successful people. So tell me, is that really power? Toastmasters and guests, I have racked my brain on these questions and arrived at two conclusions. The first, being an engineer, is scientific. Power is energy, which is the ability to do work over time. The second is power defined by a 2-year-old Indian American boy. Several years ago, I was taking my routine trip, Monday morning trip to the airport. And in my train section, there were several of the same faces I recognized, but had never spoken to because everyone keeps to themselves or just stares at their screens for the journey. This particular day, I remember this young boy with his father standing and holding his hand tightly. The first terminal was their stop. And so when we got there, they disembarked. But the boy did something unexpected. He ran back into the train section and looked at all of us and smiled and said, "Bye." And almost in complete unison, the whole section responded, "Bye." I remember looking around and seeing people stop what they were doing. They took off their headphones, all to respond to this young boy. And then his dad jumped in and grabbed him, smiled at us, but dashed quickly before the door of the section closed. And the room erupted in laughter. It was a remarkable and heartwarming scene. I stared around in awe as to how this previously hollow room had somehow been filled, been transformed. Strangers were smiling at each other. People were having conversations at 6 a.m. It was incredible. It was impossible, almost abnormal, to return to your previous dead state because something had come alive within you. And all of this was because of this 2-year-old boy. But how? What power did he possess? Rank, physical ability? Well, no, he had nothing but himself. And this boy taught me what power is. What is power? Power is you. Yeah, you, right now as you are. You with your camera off because you haven't done your makeup and your hair. You wanting to apply for that job, but questioning yourself. You in whatever situation you are going through right now. Yes, status, wealth, all these things can help with power. But you, when all those things are absent, you are enough to show up confidently and make a difference. Because like this small boy, you are power. Now we've established what power is. What is the greatest order of power? This boy exemplifies that. You see, his power was not about self-gratification or shoring oneself up. It was not divisive, using fear to separate people. It was not subtractive, robbing others of their power. No, it was multiplicative. The greatest power is the power that wakes other people up to their power, their ability to do good work over time. I close with a quote from billionaire philanthropist Sherry Arison. For me, power is within. Anyone with a position where they can make a difference should use it. Contest chair, Toastmaster guests, power is you, power is me, power is all of us, and all of us can make a difference. Thank you, Contest chair.
Power. Timer, please, 60 seconds. I would say the power I have is that I'm able to clap and applaud whilst everybody else is muted. Thank you, Contestant 5. Toastmaster Endeared. 60 seconds, please, whilst the judges are filling in the ballot forms. What is power? So much to comment on, so much to say, but I have to zip, show restraint, and allow the judges to do their work. Moving on now to the next contestant. Contestant 6, can you confirm that your mic is unmuted and you have pinned the timer?
My mic is unmuted. I believe that you can hear me.
Loud and clear.
Awesome. As for the timer, I believe I can see everyone. Okay, most people actually trying to pin the timer now.
Would you like us to run it through you? What you ought to be looking for and what you ought to be doing?
I just need to pin the timer, and I think I've found him, even though I'm unable to pin him as at this time.
The timer is called timer. If you're using your phone, you could double tap on the timer screen to pin them.
Yeah, using like PC. Timer 2 is what I can see from here, please.
That's the timer, yes.
Not sure why it's not giving.
Have you double tapped on your screen?
Well, I'm using a PC.
Oh, okay.
And so even double tapping is not helping.
Okay, so if you're using a PC, that should be easier. On your screen, you should be seeing 3 people who've been spotlighted. Would you change your view to speaker view?
Trying to work on that. I presume that this might be a disruption. I can give the guarantee that I'll be fine without time. If this is going to take time.
We can give you a minute. But if you want to carry on without, then that's your choice. But we can give you a minute to try and do that. What is the challenge? Let's see if we can.
So I'm unable to pin the timer, and like that option is not coming up at all as I look at the time.
Okay, our Zoom master, is it possible for you to explain to him what he ought to do?
Yeah, sure. Toastmaster John, could you look at your top right? You should see something called view.
Awesome. So yes, speaker.
All right. Could you click speaker?
Okay, now.
Could you tell me what you see on your screen?
Yes, I see myself, the contest chair, and the timer. But it happens that clicking on the speaker, there's no option button coming up there.
Yes, that is correct. It doesn't really necessarily, you don't have to be able to.
So it's pinned already.
Yeah, but if you could see, that's the most important. You could confirm that you could see the timer right now.
Yes, I can, please. Thank you for your patience. We can proceed.
Perfect.
Fantastic. We're here to serve. All right. So, okay. John Awode, am I safe? Am I safe, John Awode?
Am I safe? Well, you could say that with your heart panting and maybe be like me some years ago when I was standing before a crowd of 700 and at some point I had to gasp and say, I am gasping. The question, am I safe, is supposed to trigger a response. But could it be a rhetoric? Is it a question most of us are asking? Is it a question that we all need an answer to? We'll find out. One thing I can guarantee is that in today's conversation, we will all discover something useful for our lives, for our workplaces, for every community that we gather in. Good day, Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Am I safe? When the COVID-19 became rampant and everyone was running for their lives, you would often get an email if you work in that space where email is frequent. And that email will typically end with something that says, stay safe. Safety is great. But why is it so important that I'm talking about it today? Why has it become the subject matter? Just in a bit, we'll find out even a bit more. But let me take you into some distant past, but not too far, into the life and experiences of two people, two great individuals, and what they dealt with at certain times in their lives. And we'll connect that to how our lives today are reflecting their experiences and what we can truly learn and take away from those experiences. First, about Nena. Nena graduated with a first class. She's great, but of course, as is the case with anyone who is new in any industry, it doesn't matter if you graduated with a first class. You don't have the experience. So it is normal for you to want to follow and learn from mentors. Well, Nurse Nena happened to be taking care of this old man one day. It was an experimental experience. But on this particular occasion, the doctor who was mentoring Nena was not around. And Nena had to apply a medication. She went through the documents that stipulated what exactly she was to do. And she found something that she considered questionable. Could this have been an error? Doesn't seem right to me, at least in the bit of experience that I've gathered and from my training and school. She thought to make a call and confirm from the doctor. It was already late into the night and the man would definitely be with his family. It doesn't make typical sense, but looks like the right thing to do because this drug has to be administered at this time. As she attempts to make the step, then she remembered, this is the same man who 2 weeks ago lashed out on me so terribly and told me how unqualified I am. Well, she took a pause, and that pause became one that lasted through the night. On the other side is to consider the story of Engineer Mobdul. Engineer Mobdul was one businessman some 3 years ago, the June of that year actually. He had just been employed into this big industry doing consumer goods. And there was the need to take over in a market. He's a new employee, and even though he's a senior executive in the company, he had people that he met there, definitely the chairman and the board and some other senior colleagues. A decision was reached to go after a segment of the market in one conversation where he was privileged to be in. And after that, a document was prepared. He was to revise it before sending it out. He found something strategic in that document that needed to be reviewed. This was not the conclusion from the meeting we had, he thought. But do I go to the person? Oh, that might be the right thing. So he flipped back to the first page of the document. And what name did they see there? This man that prepared the document is a senior colleague. Abdul takes a deep breath. I'm not set for this. New in this company might not just be the right time to start pushing out myself in this kind of a way. So looking at the lives of Nena and Abdul today, and their particular experiences at the time in their lives, what is there for us to look at? And why are we here discussing? Am I safe? It appears to me that the question that these two people had facing them in those times is this one. Am I safe? Do we feel safe enough to speak up where we think that there is a need to speak? Or should we just keep silence? We all grew up having to learn to keep quiet a bit more for some decorum, and that's important. I mean, don't talk when you're unsure so that you don't look incompetent. Don't talk when you feel contrary so that you don't look pessimistic and negative. Don't talk when you have a question because you might just be looking like you were dumb and ignorant. Isn't that an attitude that we find frequently in our spaces today? Yet we clamor for one that is filled with innovation and change. But this does not happen by magic. It was Dr. Amy Edmondson, a professor of leadership in the Harvard Business School, that expounded on the subject matter, the need to create environments where psychological safety is optimal. But the next thing you say to me as a high-performance executive is this: how about I create an environment where people can speak up, but then everybody thinks that they don't have to do some hard work? So everybody asks a question the next time they think of one. They're not going to do a research or even use the Google search. That's not what I'm saying, really. But you never get the result if you don't try. So this is it. Creating environments where people can feel like they can speak up is crucial. But how do we retain that with excellence? So, the two things in the pot of soup that will make it delicious: psychological safety and a resolution or commitment to excellence. So if we have these two things in our spaces and our communities, we'll be building a great community, one in which people are ready at all times to advance and create better spaces. But if people never get a chance and are never confident or courageous enough to speak, then we will stick with status quo and be only as good as the best that we are. But we will never become better as we have the capacity to. Today, we have learned that psychological safety is great. And I hope that you begin to take this to war with it and build spaces where change becomes norm. Am I safe? Are you safe? Are we safe? The contest chair.
Toastmaster John, speaker 6. Timer, please, 60 seconds for the judges to evaluate the speaker. Thank you very much. Am I safe? A question again for us to ponder on. Like I said, there are loads I would love to say, but whilst our judges take the time to collate and put down the scores. 60 seconds, please. On to our 7th speaker, Contestant 7. Can you confirm that your mic is unmuted and you have pinned the timer? Contestant 7.
Yes, my mic is unmuted and I am about to pin the timer.
And I would love to see your wonderful face. At the moment, I'm not seeing anything on your screen.
My screen is on. I can.
It's on, but I'm not able to see you. Zoom Master, can you confirm that's not just from my end? I'm unable to see the next contestant, Contestant 7.
Madam Contest Chair, you are correct. Contestant number 7, could you start your video?
My video is on, as I can see there.
We are struggling to see it though.
Can you see me?
No, you could turn off your video and try to switch it back on.
Can you see me?
Yes. But then again, you went off. Is your video still on? Could you say something?
My video is on. I can see myself.
Yes, at the moment, your screen is blank. I can see your name. I can see your number, but I'm not able to see anything else.
Let me sign out and I'll come in again. I'll leave the meeting and come in again.
Okay. We'll wait for a few minutes. Zoom Master, I hope it's okay for us to just wait for like a minute or so, just to see if she can log in and log back on.
Yes,
Rather than
I'm in.
Madam Contestant, you are at the pause.
Can you see me? Can you see me, please? I'm right back.
Okay. Contestant 7, I can hear your wonderful voice, but I'm yet to see you.
Wow. I'm wondering because I can see myself on my screen.
Yeah, it could be network. Could you switch to an alternate provider?
Please, Zoom Master, she should make sure that the webcam is not hidden.
It's not hidden. I can see myself.
Yes, even if you can see yourself, it can be hidden because it depends on the position of your phone. Make sure the webcam is not hidden.
It's not hidden.
Are you using a phone or a computer?
I'm using a phone.
You're using a phone, okay. And there's no obstruction to the camera lens?
No, there is no obstruction. I can see myself clearly.
Okay.
Okay, so now I can see blank. I can't see myself anymore.
We still can't see you.
Can't see you still, yeah.
We can't see you still. Okay, what I will do now, if that's okay, just our Contestant 7, relax. We can't wait to hear you. So what I will do, I'll move on to the next contestant. So please, if you can liaise with our moderator, to Mr. Abubakar, please, if you can assist her, and then I'll come back to her.
Sure, Madam Contestant.
Okay, thank you very much. So on that note, I'm going to be moving on to Contestant 8. Please don't be startled. Contestant 8, if you can please unmute, and wonderful, unmute and pin the timer. Have you done so?
Yes, I have. Please hold on.
Take your time.
Yes, please confirm you can hear me and see me.
I can hear you and I can see you clearly.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Uchenna Ihanacho, break the bias. Break the bias, Uchenna Ihanacho.
Imagine a gender-equal world. This was the opening line in this year's International Women's Day celebration, themed Break the Bias. The contest chair, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. You see, I was born a twin, but not the identical kind of twin. It was the two different, two ordinary siblings who who happened to develop together in the womb and were born at the same time, kind of twins. We weren't even of the same gender. But as we grew up, it seemed to me that my parents preferred my brother because he always had the first choice and the better choices. For example, my father would give him 500 naira and give me 400 naira. And when I complained, my loving father would say to me, Uchenna, you are just a girl. And when I turned to my mother for support, women supporting women, she looks at me like, the sad truth is that our society has given preferential treatment to men and boys and consider them more powerful, more important than women and girls. This belief has eaten deep into the threads of our existence and has placed a cap on our potentials as women. But let's talk about my twin brother, Ikenna. Ikenna once fell from a mango tree and sprained his arm. You could tell he was in so much pain. While my mother was giving him a hot water massage, he was wriggling in pain and was about to let out a cry when my loving mother said to him, "Shh, don't cry. Men don't cry." I watched as my brother had to suppress his feelings, hide his tears, and shut down all emotions for the fear of being called girly. Another sad truth is that our society causes boys to grow up with this fallacious and toxic belief that showing their emotions, especially through tears, is a sign of weakness and makes them a little less masculine. If I may ask you, do you know that contrary to the popular opinion that gender inequality involves just women, there is indeed a systemic inequality against both the male gender and the female gender. An inequality where women and girls have inferior access to resources and opportunities. An inequality where men and boys are always expected to be strong, stoic, and non-emotional. Imagine a world where difference is valued and celebrated. On one occasion, during my elementary school days, my class teacher, Mr. Njoku, wanted to choose a class president, or a class captain, as some of us may call it. And there wasn't going to be a campaign or an election because, of course, the likes of Tinubu, Amechi, Wike, Atiku were not in my class. It was going to be an intelligence test, winner takes all. We took the test, and when the results came in, I was the only one who scored 100%, and of course, the highest. The second place winner, Desmond, scored a 98%. But much to my amazement, Mr. Njoku, with his hands on his hips, said, "Class, we all know a girl can't be the class captain." And so, Desmond becomes our class captain. My eyes widened in shock. If a girl could score the highest in the test, then why can't she be the class captain? Mr. Njoku's statement got me wondering for many years to come. But while I was busy with my thoughts of how a girl can become the class captain, Desmond, the second place winner, had other problems. It was the open day. We all know open days when parents come to school to see how well their children are doing. And there in the distance was Desmond, standing with his parents, his father yelling so much at him that I could see David fighting back the tears that were already welling up in his eyes. But remember, men don't cry. And what was his offense? The fact that a girl, that was me, by the way, beat him to the second position. There and then, I realized how flawed our cultural upbringing has been and how a lot is wrong with the society and the standard that is set for our men. Imagine a world free from bias, stereotypes, and discrimination. Imagine a world that is inclusive, diverse, and equitable. But it is worthy of note that progress has been made in accepting and encouraging more women and their impact in homes, communities, and workplaces. Our men are also becoming more expressive with their emotions, and that is so beautiful to see. This is what our world needs: a more gender-inclusive environment, free from any form of bias or stereotypes. A world where fighting bias against women does not mean discriminating against the men. A world where workplaces can focus on competency instead of gender, and where men are given the same flexibility as women. A world where men and women can accept their differences and give love a chance to blossom. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, great men and women alike, together, we all can forge gender equality. Together, we all can break the bias. The contest chair.
Thank you, Contestant 8, Toastmaster Uchenna. 60 seconds, please, so that the judges can fill in their forms. Break the bias. Thank you so much. These are all wonderful, educative speeches that we've heard so far from the 7 contestants, and amazing, amazing. So we have one more contestant to go. So once it's 60 seconds, please let me know. Timer. Fantastic. So now we're back to Contestant 7. Can you confirm your mic is unmuted and you have pinned the timer? I can see you clearly now. Clearly, I can see you. So well done in fixing that technical issue. Well done for that. But I can't hear you now.
Okay, so can you hear me now?
Contestant 7. Now I can hear you loud and clear. Now I can hear you. Have you pinned the timer? Yes, I can hear you clearly. Have you pinned the timer? You have. Fantastic, fantastic. Fumi, Ilori, face your fears. Face your fears, Fumi, Ilori.
Fear is the path to darkness. Fear leads to suffering. Everyone has their fears. You have your fear. I have my fears. But how are we facing our fears? A popular quote says, "The brave man is not him that does not have fears, but he who conquers his fears." Beautiful afternoon, contest chairman, Toastmasters, and guests. I am Fumi Lori, and I am facing my fears. What scares you? What are you afraid of? Loss of money? Ill health? Poverty? Abuse? Abuse. This reminds me, brings back sad memories of the death of Osinachi, the popular gospel musician that we lost a few days ago. Why did she stay in an abusive marriage? Do you have answers for me? It was fear. She was afraid. Afraid. Who would take care of her children? What would people say? How would she cope without a man? Who would pay the bills? Who would love her again? How would she face the world? It's not just Osinachi. I have the same story. I don't know what story you have, but fear is false evidence appearing real. I've had my fair share of abuse, and the questions are everywhere. A woman, how would you cope? Women are expected to stay in their husband's house and face whatever it is. Why would I let go? Why would I cry out? Why would I voice out? If I do not face my fear, my fears would strangle me. I will die eventually. So I decided to face my fears. First, by thinking good thoughts, by renewing my mind, by surrounding myself with people that could support me, people that could believe in me, people that could hold my hand and help me. Fear comes in different ways. You could be facing fears at your place of work. It could even be among families and friends. Sometimes, even the fear comes from loved ones. But how are you willing to face that fear? What are you doing about it? Do you want to get into pity mode? What will people say? What will people say? It's not just about people. You're wondering where you're going to go next. Have you taken that step? Some people face fears and abuse even in friendship. How do you overcome the fear of failure? You don't even want to take risk. You get opportunities and you're unwilling to go that mile. What would happen if I tried? In times of fear, our happiness is ruined. We fear for our children. We fear for the unknown. We visualize what is not even happening. What if we turn it into the positive? What if we begin to visualize what the possibilities are? As a woman that has gone through abuse, I decided to go out and face my fears. Guess what I found? I found joy. I found peace. I found prosperity. Today, I run the first innovative mobile library for children in Nigeria because I decided to face my fears. Good things await you. Don't let your fear hold you back. Don't think about all the things that would happen, because when you step out, fear loses its grip over you. You cannot keep running away from your fears. You've got to face it. Face it. Face your fears. Begin to live like you are new again. And I tell you, greatness awaits you. I challenge you today, face your fears. Contest chair, thank you.
Contestant 7, face your fears. Thank you very much for that. So this brings the lineup for all 8 contestants for the International Speech Contest have spoken. So now we're going to give the judges some time for them to complete their ballot sheets. Judges, you have been given instructions on how to submit your votes when done. If you have any questions at all, please contact the Chief Judge privately. And also, may I remind you that your ballots need to be signed. Signing your name is very, very important so that it validates your vote. Very, very important that you do that. So that brings us to the end of the International Speech Contest. But whilst the judges are collating, we will get to know our contestants a little better. I know that I am eager to find out a bit more about the speakers of such amazing speeches. So whilst the judges are collating, I am going to ask our contestants to unmute themselves, and I'm going to ask them just light questions so that we get to know them a bit more. And then also, if it's possible for us to share the certificates of participation on the screen. So to all our contestants, you're all winners. All our contestants, thank you so much for stepping in, representing your various clubs here, speaking. It's never easy. And I can only imagine the amount of growth that you've all undergone by this experience. So you will be receiving your certificates of participation. Do we have a sample that we can share on the screen so they know what awaits them?
Yes, Madam Contest Chair. So come up in a bit.
Thank you. So that's something from the division to all our contestants saying a job well done, a job well done. So whilst it comes up, I will start with contestant 1. Okay, I'll wait now, so it's been shared. Beautiful, contestant 1, Toastmaster Chukwuemeli. That was your certificate of participation, and I'm going to ask you a question. Are you unmuted, sir?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you. I can't see you though, but I can hear you.
Okay, I'm trying to switch to my other device. Please just give me a moment.
Okay. All right, beautiful. Now I can see you clearly.
All right, thank you.
Okay, relax. All right, you've done the hard part, which was for you to give your speech. Now this is the fun part. I was curious when I was reading your bio, and you said you love playing FIFA. My son loves playing FIFA, and for the life of me, I can't understand it. So my question to you is, please, for someone that is extremely naive when it comes to FIFA, can you tell me what you love about it? You said, I love playing FIFA. Not that I like playing FIFA. Can you tell me what you love about playing FIFA?
The words of Arsene Wenger, the former Arsenal manager, comes to mind, where he describes the game of football as the game of passion. So he says it's the game of la passion, which is French for passion. Now, why there is so much passion in the beautiful game is something I cannot describe. Years before I was born, men and humans alike had the passion for what we describe as the beautiful game football. Now, I'm growing up in an environment where people stayed on the streets, watched football and cheered their teams, and took out time to engage in some sort of competition online or virtually. It then developed into something I love, not just watching on the screen, playing on the street, but also something I enjoyed competing in terms of a video game. And that love has transited all through the years of my life. I thought I was going to outgrow it, but it seems as the years go by, the love grows even deeper.
Fantastic. You have, I wish my son was here, because honestly, you have won his case for him, because now you have convinced me that there's a method to the madness I see when I see him playing. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so indeed. So on to our contestant 2, last speaker 2, Emmanuel, Toastmaster Emmanuel. Can we please have his certificate of participation? Excellent. So you're going to have your certificate of participation. Thank you so much for doing what you just did. You mentioned that you love to travel. I'm an avid, I love to travel also. So when I saw that, I thought, fantastic. So can you tell me the most interesting place that you've traveled to and why you found it interesting?
The most interesting place I've traveled to will probably be Singapore. Because I came back depressed after going to Singapore. Well, interestingly, Singapore should even be a country, tiny. Most of the resources in Singapore are imported, including the drinking water, the sand on their beach. It just doesn't make sense. So I came back very depressed. So that was very fascinating. So that's probably the most fascinating place I've been to, Singapore. I came back depressed.
Wow. I love that you came back depressed, and I would say also inspired, because I'm sure you must have seen amazing things over in Singapore.
Yes, it was too amazing, actually, because why I got depressed was like, I told myself, the same colonial masters that Singapore had was what we had. So what happened to Nigeria? That was just it. There are just 5 million people in Singapore. Half of them are foreigners. And their passport at that time was the strongest passport in the world. Their airline has won the best airline 18 times year after year. And I'm asking myself, what happened to Nigeria? So that's why I came back depressed.
Indeed, it's a question we'll all keep asking. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. Thank you very much. Okay, so on to our third contestant. Okay, our third contestant is going to be preparing for the evaluation contest. So I would say, well done for participating in the international speech contest, and your certificate will be sent to you. So I'm going to move on now to the fourth speaker, Toastmaster Titilla Ekundayo. Toastmaster Titilla, are you there?
Yes, I am.
When I saw this, I thought I couldn't resist. I saw that martial artist, and I thought, whoa. Whoa. I thought, whoa, she's see my language, bad A. I thought, fantastic. So please tell me what endeared you to become a martial artist, because that is phenomenal. What endeared you to that?
Well, I think that first and foremost, I'm someone that doesn't like physical fights. So, and I just decided that, okay, life is too short. Let's live life. Let's face our fears and do something that you would normally do. Yes. And then I love epic movies. So when, those temple something, all those, where the master's hand is behind and is controlling everything with his hand and all of that. So I found that interesting, and I said, all right, let me try this. So I'm still very new, but then it's interesting how much your body can do, how much knowledge really that has stayed over the years. It's pretty interesting.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that. And thank you. That inspires me to see what else I can try to explore now that I've seen you, that you have tried something like this and you enjoyed it. So thank you so much for sharing that. Now we know a little bit more about you. Thank you.
Thank you.
right, so now on to our contestant 6, that's Toastmaster John Awodi. Can we please have his certificate of participation? And then if you could unmute yourself, please.
All right, contest chair.
Yes, hello. I can't see your face. I would love to see your face.
My camera is on, except if
Okay, now I can see you. Now I can see you clearly. Yes.
Madam Contestant, what about Contestant 5?
Contestant 5. Okay, I will come to the okay. That's an error on my part. I'll come to contestant 5 then.
Okay, so we should display the contestant.
But let me finish with him first.
Now, should we do 6?
Yes, please. Yes,
okay.
You show contestant 6 certificate, and I'll go back to contestant 5. Thank you for. Beautiful. So we don't give you the wrong certificate, sir. Right. So you mentioned that you love playing tennis. I wasn't sure. Is it lawn tennis or table tennis? Before I start my question, was it lawn tennis or table tennis? Before I go and ask you, and then you're like, oh no. What do you love playing? Is it lawn tennis? Long tennis. Wow. So that's what I play. That's my favorite sport. I was gonna ask you, what skills would you say you have developed from playing tennis? But then I thought, let me ask you, your forehand or your backhand, which is strongest and why? Which would you say is stronger, your forehand or your backhand?
My forehand is stronger. I mean, if I have to use the backhand, I usually will have to support it.
Beautiful. And then what skill set would you say you've developed from playing tennis that you have applied or you're able to apply in real life situation? What skill sets would you say?
I think paramount in the list will be the ability to focus. It's interesting how you can play and the ball is moving in different directions. In fact, that's what you're trying to do on your part, to play into directions where your opponent is not discerning. But the ability to have a stable mind where regardless where the ball goes, you have this hasty ability to run in that direction and give a response to it. So it all comes from the strength of focus, I think. And that's something I've been able to put to use a lot.
Beautiful. Maybe when next I am in Lagos, maybe we can have a rally. We can have a game of tennis. I would love that.
Please, by all means.
All right, then. Thank you so much. All right, so let's move on now. Sorry, back to contestant 5. If you can put the certificate on the screen. Contestant 5, Toastmaster Edering. Aha, hello. How are you, sir? Good?
I'm doing well, Contest Chair. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. I saw this and I thought, okay, but you love salsa dancing.
I do.
Aha, interesting. All right, so who would you say is your favorite salsa dancer? Because if you love doing something, hopefully you have someone that you aspire to be like in terms of, in that field. Do you have any salsa dancer that you look up to? Beautiful.
I spend a good amount of time just watching the other dancers when I go out. There's one gentleman by the name of Ayo that dances with such confidence, and it's just amazing watching him. So my goal is to be as good a dancer as he is after some years.
Indeed, and like you mentioned, power. So obviously you have the power within you. So with that power, you should be able to aspire to be as good as Ayo or even better, correct?
Indeed.
Excellent. All right. Thank you so much so now we know that about you. Thank you so much. And then thank you also for being part of the International Speech Contest.
Thank you.
So now on to Contestant 7. That's Toastmaster Fumi Ilorin. If we can have her certificate of participation. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Fumi Ilorin. Thank you so much for participating. And here is your certificate of participation.
Thank you.
You mentioned that you love children. And for me as a teacher, I can definitely understand that. Can you tell me what about children inspires you the most? Would you say, what about children inspires you the most?
What inspires me the most about children is their innocence. You know, you talk to children, you just want to correct them, you want them to be the best that they can be. And everything they do, they just do it innocently. They don't even get to think about consequences, so to speak. Whatever happens, they believe, okay, this is for the moment, and they keep at it. They can do things again. They can take risks. They can be happy. There's nothing keeping them from their fears, you know, and that is very inspiring. The fact that, you know, they have a friend today, their friend offends them, and tomorrow they're still friends with a friend. That is really great about children.
Indeed. Thank you so much for sharing that. Children and their innocence. If only we as adults can strive to be like them and see life through their own lenses, that will make it will make our world a lot simpler.
I agree.
Indeed. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, and thank you so much for being.
I like the way you speak.
Oh, bless! My husband will be very happy to hear that today. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, so on to the next and final contestant. That's contestant 8, Toastmaster Uchenna.
Yes, thank you very much, the contestant.
Wonderful. I want to make sure I can see you clearly. There we go. I found very interesting your profile. You said you love modeling, or do you model? Do you model, or do you love the art of modeling? I wasn't quite sure, so let me find out.
I used to model. I've stopped now, but I would love to continue if I get the chance. I'm no longer in that field, but it's something I love so much. If you call me today, I will answer you. So it's something I love.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So I can ask you that question then. Right. So what about modeling did you find challenging? Was there any aspect of it? I know you love it, but was there any aspect of it that you found challenging? I thought, okay, could I?
Yeah, I think is the fact that at all points in time, you just have to be almost perfect. That was what I found challenging, because I always love to be me. And sometimes you just want to be, you don't want to be perfect. You don't want to be all made up and all of that. I think that was what I found challenging at that time. Apart from that, it was something I could do in my sleep. I just loved it so much.
Fantastic. And if you love something so much, never give it up. All right. So always still strive, find ways to, to get back on the horse, as they say. So, but thank you so much. Thank you for being a participant. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. Okay. Okay. All right then. I was going with, okay, so thank you so much. I was going with thank you very much. I was looking at the program that I have in front of me, which said that interview with the contestants, and that takes to 5 p.m. That was why I was going over that time. So has that changed, Zoom Master?
No, actually, it was perfect. You were perfect.
Fantastic. Thank you. I wanted to make sure. All right. So on that note, I think now we can say that we know our contestants better. And thank you so much for giving us a bit more insight into your lives. So I think on that note, I will hand back control to the contest moderator. I'm not quite sure if we still have 5 minutes for the table topics, but I would say I will hand back control to you so that we can carry on with the next segment. What do you think?
Yes, please. Let's get the move on.
Beautiful. So thank you all for that, and I'll be back later on to announce the results for the international speech contest. Back to you, Toastmaster Abubakar.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Please, let's give a resounding round of applause to the contest chair, distinguished Toastmaster Toju. Let us also give a big round of applause. The ones that we couldn't do, let us give the contestants a big round of applause. Thank you. Thank you so much. Madam Contest Chair, I have just two jobs for you left. The second is to announce the winners, but the first is to adjourn the contest, the international speech contest.
Fantastic. So international speech contest is hereby adjourned.
Thank you so much. I would also second that motion by moving for adjournment of the speech contest till next year, sometime next year. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let us give DTM Toju a round of applause. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Now, unfortunately, we cannot have the break because of time. So we would go straight into the evaluations contest. As mentioned earlier at the beginning of the meeting, we would conclude the international speech contest and head over to evaluations, announce the winners, and then we close. Now, today, the contest chair is a mastermind of Craig's Communications Clinic for the evaluations. He is an English doctor, spelling bee pronouncer, and an elocution instructor. He is the current Vice President Education of Merit Toastmasters Club, and recently he received the Linguistic Master Award from the Manhasset Port, Washington Toastmasters Club, New York. Remarkably, he is the current District 94 Toastmasters Speech Evaluations Champion. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, with a big, thunderous round of applause, let's give welcome to the contest chair for the evaluations contest, Toastmaster Dr. Craig Esowode. Mr. Craig, are you there?
The thunder is ready to quake. The stars are ready to dance. The sky is ready to roll. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Mr. Contest Moderator, thank you most graciously for the exuberant vigor of your introductory remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, you ask, why is evaluation a crucial component of the Toastmasters educational architecture? In my humble opinion, the thinking is that evaluation is a free education to excellence. Les Brown, the American motivational speaker, summed it in a beautifully exquisite manner when he remarked that you cannot see the picture when you are in the frame. For this reason, the Toastmaster speech evaluation contest is a golden, veritable opportunity to promote the development of speech evaluation capabilities. And what's more, it is a golden opportunity to recognize the best as an encouragement to all. It is our opportunity to observe the proficient speech evaluators who have learned from the Toastmasters training. Ladies and gentlemen, if your microphone is on, kindly switch it off. Adrian, your microphone is on. The Zoom master, please mute all of those people whose microphones are on at the moment. The Zoom master, please keep an eye on the microphones. The contestants deserve our compassion, our cooperation, our consideration. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to inform you that the contestants have been briefed and we have determined with resounding success the sequence of speaking. For the convenience of the voting judges and the tie-breaking judge, here is the succession of speaking. Contestant number 1, Ibrahim Kasim. Contestant number 2, Adeniro Obitayo. Contestant number 3, Olayiwola Adeyemi. Contestant number 4, Aderonke Adekombi. Contestant number 5, Pamela Elekwachi. Contestant number 6, Fumi Omotosho. Contestant number 7, Olumide Ajibade. Contestant Number 8, Queen Upupre. At this juncture, I would like to relinquish control to the individual who's going to serve as the chief judge before we delve into the rules action contest. Our chief judge is a tax inspector and a certified public accountant. This quintessential gentleman is an expert in international taxation. He has served with unparalleled brilliance in myriad leadership positions in the territory of Toastmasters International. To be spectacularly succinct, he's a past president of Didier Waga Lumiere, is the immediate past Division C director, and at the moment, he is the incumbent logistics manager of our high octane districts. With a resounding, rapturous round of applause, please join me to welcome to the spotlight our chief judge, distinguished Toastmaster Abubakar Nakanabo.
Thank you so much, dear contest chair, very dynamic contest chair. Thank you so much for this introduction. I'm very happy to be here with you, to be your chief judge. We are going to evaluate our contestants and to choose the best one. I'm working with a team, a wonderful team, brilliant and honest team. In this team, I have a ballot counter. She's a lady, she's the sergeant at arms of Lento Toastmasters Club, a very brand new Toastmasters Club in Nigeria. She joined Toastmaster in 2021. She's a businesswoman. Her favorite quote is from Theodore Roosevelt, "Nothing good comes easy." Let's welcome together Toastmaster Josephine Agolo, our ballot counter. The second member of my team is the VP of Garden City Toastmasters Club and Prestige Toastmasters Club. He's also the public relations manager of District Division K. He is a civil engineer, architect, and also project manager. His hobbies: designing, normal for an architect, cooking, and playing games. His mantra is, "If you believe, you can." The third member of my team is the VP of Lighthouse Prestige Toastmasters Club. He joined Toastmaster in 2018. He is a project manager. His hobbies are eating, yes, eating, you understand it very well, sleeping, reading. His favorite quote is, "Knowledge is a little knowledge is a dangerous thing." Let's welcome together our Toastmaster Abubakar Gimba. In my team, I have also judges, many judges, honest judges, committed judges, but unfortunately you cannot see them, but they are here with us. I wish all the contestants good luck and may the best win. Back to you, dear contest chair.
Mr. Chief Judge, thank you very kindly for that. Before we delve into the rules and protocol of the Toastmasters speech evaluation contest, permit me with a sense of courtesy to acknowledge with respect and dignity past and incumbent leaders of our clubs, areas, divisions, districts, and regions who are on the call here today. We acknowledge and appreciate and celebrate your presence. Ladies and gentlemen, what are the rules and protocol of a Toastmaster speech contest? Number one is the timing sequence. The duration is 2 to 3 minutes. When an evaluator has spoken for 2 minutes, the timekeeper will indicate the green card, 2:30 minutes, the yellow card, 3 minutes exactly, the red card. And the red card will remain on the screen until the evaluator has finished speaking. No signal will be provided for the overtime period spent. And for the record, if a speech evaluation is less than 1 minute 30 seconds or more than 3 minutes 30 seconds, that contestant is eloquently tantamount to disqualification. The second point I want to mention about the rules has to do with the decisions of the judges. It is of paramount significance for all of the contestants to be mindful of the fact that the decisions of the judges are final. Let me reiterate that for the sake of emphasis. The decisions of the judges are final in the Toastmasters contest. There will be 1 minute of tranquility to allow the voting judges and the tie-breaking judge to mark their ballots. To kickstart the process, we're going to have a contest speech, which will last for 5 to 7 minutes. At the conclusion of the test speech, all of the contestants would be transitioned or catapulted to a holding room to use the languaging of the Toastmasters online speech contest document. In that waiting or holding room, they would have 5 minutes to dot the I's and cross the T's of their evaluation under the strict supervision of the contest sergeant at arms. After 5 minutes, they will be ushering one after the other into the contest atmosphere or arena to present their evaluations. As far as the audience members are concerned, let's abstain from using the chat box during the action or performance. Equally, let's be mindful or acutely aware of our microphones. These contestants deserve our cooperation, our compassion, our consideration. Mr. Chief Judge, are all the officials ready at this moment? Yes or no?
Yes, they are ready.
Are all the contestants eligible?
Yes, they are eligible.
May I have your permission, sir, to begin the contest?
Yes, can go.
Thank you very kindly, Mr. Chief Judge. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? If you're ready, give me the thumbs up. Right. Our test speaker is Toastmaster Oluwatoyin Bolajoko. Oluwatoyin, are you there? If you can hear me, say speech evaluation contest.
Speech evaluation contest. Please confirm you can hear me.
Oluwatoyin, can you please regurgitate that?
Speech evaluation contest.
I confirm that I can hear you, but I cannot see you.
Okay, hold on a bit. Speech evaluation contest.
There you are. I confirm with evangelical fervor and missionary zeal that you are visible and audible.
Thank you.
Oluwatoyin Bolajoko, how to get away from murder. How to get away from murder. Oluwatoyin Bolajoko.
Have you ever wondered how to kill someone and get away with it? I mean, doesn't it fascinate you how in movies, someone comes up with a plan, waits until the right time, executes it, kills someone else and walks away with it without judgment, leaving everyone else in confusion. It always fascinates me. In fact, that's why I love thriller movies. But what if I told you that you could also be a murderer? Mhm. The contest chair, fellow Toastmasters, and some murderers. But before you castigate me and throw a stone at me because of my allegations, permit me to explain myself. Maybe we could come together and resolve these unsolved murder cases. Abimbola has been my friend for over 15 years. She's always a jolly soul. I remember her to be the most beautiful girl with an infectious smile and a deep-bellied laughter. She laughed at everything and anything. You couldn't just get her to stop. She was the beauty to behold, always the center of attraction. All eyes always on her. But she only had eyes for Dele, a 300-level student at that time of engineering, and the son of one of the top business tycoons in Nigeria. I couldn't really blame her for her choice. Dele was as beautiful as she is. Tall, dark, and handsome, with very nice set of teeth. So it was no surprise to us all when they got married 5 years ago. The event was ginormous. It was so full of glamour. In fact, it was the talk of weeks on the internet for a lot of weeks. Every wedding planner made reference to it. It was the event of the year. After about 6 months, I lost contact with Abimbola. We stopped talking for a while. And I thought, oh, well, it could be because she's so fascinated by a married to a wonderful man like Dele. I mean, who wouldn't? They look so happy on the internet, on Instagram. In fact, I started praying, God, when will you give me a man like Dele? Or am I a stone? Thank God, God did not listen to my foolish prayers, because the next thing I found out shocked me out of my marrow. Late last year, I reconnected with Abimbola at a friend's wedding in Surulere, Lagos. She still looked radiant, and she exhumed luxury. She was beautifully dressed in a very luxurious gown, and perfume left a rich scent everywhere. But there was something different about her. She looked poor. I couldn't see that light in her eyes whenever she smiled anymore. It felt like her soul was missing. And she stopped laughing at my jokes, even the funny ones that used to make her laugh and fall on the ground. I had to blurt out, Bimbo, you've changed, but it's not the type of good change I'm talking about. At first, she tried to push me off, saying nothing was wrong, but with my prying eyes, continued looking at her. She had to just cave in. She took me out into a silver range spot parked outside the party. And the moment we got in, this rich, once beautiful woman broke down in tears with heavy sobs. It took me about 10 minutes to calm her down and get her to start talking. She looked at me and said, Twin, I feel dead on the inside. She confessed that Dele, yes, that amazing Dele, was a verbally abusive man. According to her words, I first noticed it during our honeymoon in Mauritius. That morning, I was on a call with my sister. I didn't hear that Dele was calling me. And when I saw him, he looked very irritated. So I told my sister I'll call her back. Fool, he said. You're a fool. You are stupid. You don't have any respect. You are senseless. Don't ever keep me waiting again. Remember, I picked you from the gutters. I was shocked. I thought, what would have come over my newlywed husband? But that was only the beginning, Tony. From that moment, he used only the vilest words to describe me, even in public. Do you know that the first word of my daughter was fool? She had gotten so used to her father saying that word that she says it without any fear. In fact, she gets cursed by her father as well. And she's just 3 years old. Oh, I felt so bad when I heard this. I was so speechless. On my way home that day, I thought about Abimbola's expression. She said, I feel dead on the inside. People consider me lucky, but I'm not lucky. I'm a dead woman walking. I remember the research by the furniture company IKEA in 2018, where they brought two plants, put them under the same nutrition and weather condition. But for over the next 30 days, they fed one with positive affirmative words, and to the other, they spoke negative bullying words. After 30 days, the results were staggering. The one that received the positive affirmative words looked radiant and flourished, while the one that received the negative words withered away. If plants could react that way to words, how much more humans? How much more, my dear Abimbola? Fellow Toastmasters, many are dying today because of negative words that have been spoken to them. Do you remember how many times you felt dead on the inside when someone called you a fool, an imbecile, a no good? Do you remember? I'm speaking to you, fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, siblings, and even the keypad warriors. Remember when you're about to say that word to someone, remember the impact it will have on that person. Remember that you could be killing somebody else. Let us make the world a place where we can all thrive, grow, and flourish. Let us end these bloodless and invisible murder cases. So how do you get away with murder? You don't. The contest chair.
Thank you very kindly, our test speaker, for the spine of your speech. At this juncture, I'd like to request Toastmaster Gimba to transition all of the 8 contestants or contest speakers into the holding room, where they would have 5 minutes to dot the I's and cross the T's of their speech evaluation. The timekeeper, do not start the timing yet until they've all been moved into the holding room or breakout room. Gimba, please confirm to me when that process is over.
All right, thank you, Mr. Contest Chair. The sergeant announced for this particular contest is Toastmaster Senator Ofumi, and he is doing that right now. We will let you know once it's done.
All right. So while that is going on, I'd like to inform our new members and our guests that evaluation is a district level contest. What do I mean by that? It is not like the international speech contest that advances through the districts to the region quarterfinals, semifinals, and culminates in the World Championship of Public Speaking at the annual Toastmasters International Convention. The evaluation contest ends at the district annual conference. And that is why, in line with the Toastmaster speech contest policy, it is known as a district level contest type. The winner today will represent Division F at the district annual conference scheduled to commence on the 18th of May. Senator, please confirm to me that you have moved all 8 contestants into the holding room, please.
Contestant 1, please join the breakout room. Contestant 6, please join the breakout room.
The timekeeper, I will let you know when to begin the timing for the 5 minutes of preparation. Not now, please.
Okay, confirmed. I've moved the 8 contestants into the breakout room.
All right, the timekeeper, you can begin the timing now. As soon as it's 5 minutes, please indicate the red card, and then we can commence the contest. Let's meet our test speaker. Oluwatoyin Bolajoko, are you there?
Yes, contest chair, I'm here.
All right, I'd like to inform everyone that Oluwatoyin Bolajoko is the incumbent president of Learntor Toastmasters Club. Oluwatoyin, tell us, why did you join Toastmasters International?
Hey, thank you so much, contest chair. So I joined Toastmasters International in 2019. And initially it was because I was looking for a place where I could develop my speaking capacities and also looking for work-life balance. I always worked a lot then without time to rest. So I was looking for an extracurricular or outside work activity that would be rewarding and also help me grow. And I found Kenya Toastmasters Club, which I joined at that time. And it's been amazing. Been very incredible being a part of Toastmasters.
Oh, all right. What would you say to someone who is here now and has yet to reach that imperishable decision to enroll on the program of this international renowned institution?
I would say waste no more time and join Toastmasters because the values and the benefits are so numerous. I mean, there are skills that you learn that are transferable to every area of your life. There are skills that would stand you out wherever you are. Right now, I'm studying in the UK, and I remember one of my lecturers said to me a few months ago, when I answered a question in class, he said, "I love the way you speak, and you command such authority." And he was a white man. He is a white man. So I immediately knew that this skill was from Toastmasters, and I was able to command attention both in Nigeria and abroad. You also learn leadership skills for free. You get a lot of opportunities to contest in competitions like this, and you meet a lot of amazing people like Toastmaster Craig. You would meet a lot of people who would motivate you and mentor you to become better versions of yourself. So waste no more time and take that decision right away.
That's intriguing, isn't it? Toyin, I have a question to ask you about the speech that you delivered is mattering a moment ago. When you sent the topic to me, I was stunned. How to get away from murder? What was going through your mind when you crafted that topic, Toyin?
So I was reading the book of the Bible, that part that says, if you call your brother a fool, if you speak out of anger to someone, you've actually murdered the person. And I realized how we've trivialized words and how they kill. I have also been very close with people who have been victims of verbal abuse and how it has affected their self-esteem and their self-awareness. They can't function the way they used to. And I realized it's a big menace to the community. So I thought about how this is a model that people feel like, oh, I could just call you a fool and get away with it. And that's how the topic came up with. That's how I came up with the topic for the speech.
Oh, that is flat out fascinating. There was something that you mentioned when you were speaking. You said, I couldn't see the light in her eyes. That's an exquisite metaphorical expression. What inspired that expression, Toyin?
So I observe when people smile. There's some people that when they smile, it's so genuine. They literally light up your world. And there's some other people, when they're smiling through pain, you can't feel that aura anymore. I've seen this happen even to me, where I'm usually a jolly person, I'm always smiling, but people who are close to me know when I'm smiling and it's not coming from a genuine heart. So that expression, I couldn't see the light, is as a result of my experience with people who have been verbally abused and they just can't bring out that aura anymore. It's really sad, truly, if you've seen anyone who's been verbally abused. They just can't function anymore.
Oh, Toyin, thank you very kindly for your awe-inspiring effort. On behalf of Division F, I'd like to thank you most feverishly for deciding to take up the gauntlet to deliver the test speech. Many thanks. Bless your heart.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, the Zoom master, please usher into the contest arena. Contestant number 1, Ibrahim Kasim.
Contestant number 1, please join the main room.
Contestant number 1, Ibrahim Kasim.
Confirm contestant number 1 is Maroon.
Toastmaster Ibrahim Kasim, if you can hear me loud and clear, I want to hear you say speech evaluation contest.
Speech evaluation contest.
Right, have you fastened the video of the timekeeper? That's timer 2.
Yeah, I think it's already pinned.
Yeah, that's the timer.
Right. Right. I confirm that I can see you and I can hear you. Contestant number 1, Ibrahim Kasim. Ibrahim Kasim.
It was Benjamin Franklin that said, "Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn." The contest master, fellow communicators, and our friends. Toastmaster Oluwatoyin Bolajoko, your first words when you said, have you ever wondered when you get away with a murder? That captivated my curiosity and magnified my imagination. That epitomizes the concept of primary effect in the cognitive psychology. It says, the words that we encounter early on linger on than the latter. You did that with incisive decision. It was incisive, instructive, and introspective. Well done. On top of that, your masterful deployment of rhetorical question when you said, how do you get away with murder? That sent a shiver down my spine and my neurons were captivated. You did that with poise, panache, and punch. Normally, rhetorical question activate the brain of the audience and arouse the attentiveness of the audience. Well done. Fellow Toastmasters and our esteemed guest, it was Les Brown that said, when you cannot see the picture when you are in the frame, and I see an unquenchable thirst of rhetorical excellence in you. As a consequence, might I encourage you to pay attention to speech correctness. For instance, you vocalize the following words as thus: castigate, fascinated, and 30. From a speech correctness point of view, I encourage you to vocalize the words as castigate, fascinated, and 30. When you pronounce words very well, you upthrust your authority and turbocharge your authenticity. The crowning jewel of your oration was your deployment of rhetorical device. It was often said that if a picture can paint 1,000 words, one rhetorical device will paint 1,000 pictures. And as such, your rhetorical device was able to send your ideas home and of course, bring your point to the bear. In summation, I commended your use of rhetorical devices, your rhetorical question. Of course, I encourage you to pay attention to speech correctness, and I see that unquenchable elegance in you. Please blaze forth like the burst of the rising sun. The contest chair.
Contestant number 1, Ibrahim Kasim, thank you very kindly for your instructional evaluation. Let's give the judges 1 minute to mark their ballots. The timekeeper, please indicate the red when that 1 minute mark has ticked past.
Huh? Right? One, not so much. I think 100, 200.
All right. Thank you very kindly for that. It is crucial or vital for us to respect that 1 minute of silence. That is the clarion call of the Toastmaster speech contest policy. Please, please, let's have our microphones switched off. The contestants deserve our compassion, cooperation, and consideration. Contestant number 2, Adeniro Omitayo. If you can hear me, say speech evaluation contest.
Speech evaluation contest.
Right. Have you clipped the video of the timekeeper yet?
Yes, please.
All right. Contestant number 2, I confirm that I can see you and I can hear you. Adeniro Omitayo. Adeniro Omitayo.
That was a fantastic speech. I commend you for that. I'll be evaluating you in 4 categories: introduction, body, structure, conclusion, and ways to improve. How was your introduction? It was impeccable. I'll be sincere with you. You asked us a question, how to kill someone and get away with it. I was wondering, kind of thing, are you trying to teach us to be a murderer? Wow, it was fantastic. I was fixated to your speech throughout. At some point, you even called us murderers. I was wondering, what country do you have to be a murderer? I don't know about others. Your body language was fantastic. You expressed every moment by your body gesture. I was following. I was fixated to your smile. Every things you were performing through. You even told us a fantastic story, which was very relatable. I followed you from the beginning to the end. At some point, when you were friend, was very fantastic. You took us, or even me, through a memory lane of what is happening in our society. People are so fixated with social media, but you gave us a twist to your story. The structure was fantastic as well. Your conclusion was also fantastic. At some point, when you related your story with plants, I was wondering, where is she driving at again? Is she trying to call plants murderers as well? I was really fixated to everything you said from beginning to the end. You even gave us a twist to your story. What kind of lady is this? Where is she driving at? What do you think, or where do I think you need to improve on? Your voice and your voice variation, your vocal variety. When you were trying to mimic the voice of your friend, I was expecting you to actually use a different voice. Your voice was just monotone throughout your speech. So whenever you are giving a speech or whenever you are telling a story, I will implore you to always modulate your voice. And I'm going to tell you, storytelling is your forte. I enjoyed every bit, to the extent that you even described the perfume she wore that day. It was fantastic. And I would like to say congratulations to you. If I was given the opportunity, frankly speaking, I would have given you a DTM because of this wonderful speech you gave. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavor. The contest chair.
Contestant number 2, Adeniro Mitayo, thank you very kindly for your instructional evaluation. We are now going to relapse into 1 minute of wordlessness for the judges to mark their ballots. The timekeeper indicated red at the expiration of the 1 minute mark. Olaiwola Adeyemi, if you can hear me, I'd like you to say speech evaluation contest.
Having trouble connecting to the internet? Check your Wi-Fi network connection by going to settings.
Yes, I can hear you, please.
I confirm that I can see you and I can hear you. Have you fastened the video of the timekeeper?
Yes, please.
Right. Contestant number 3, Olaiwola Adeyemi. Olaiwola Adeyemi.
All right. Thank you very much, our test speaker. It was Ralph Smedley who said that the unprepared speaker has every right to be afraid. But considering the boldness and audacity of your delivery, that quote runs very contrary to that incredible effort that I see that you put forward. First of all, I would like to commend the fact that you started with the art of inquisitiveness, which is a very interesting technique to get your audience drawn into your speech. You started to ask them, have you ever considered this type of scenario in terms of how people can get away with murders, triggering the dark imaginations of your audience? And that was a very skillful technique. And as smooth as you were throughout the course of your delivery, you switched to an impeccable art of storytelling, which is something that you did incredibly well. Your storytelling was laced with the required level of enthusiasm, suspense, enlivened by very good body language and gestures, very deliberate, very calculated, very purposeful, nothing used in excess. Even your vocal variety lended credibility, lended impact, and drew the audience in as you told that story in a masterful manner. You used creative words and metaphors laced throughout the course of your speech. When I heard voice things like, oh, I could feel a soul was missing. Deep-bellied laughter, and very creative expressions like that. More importantly, one of the very skillful things that you also did in the course of your delivery that I found very, very interesting was when you then went beyond the anecdotes of your story to begin to bring in the facts, showing that you also put in some level of work to do the research on this. And you mentioned and referenced a story, a study by IKEA. And I felt, okay, balancing anecdotes and facts is indeed a very skillful way of bringing home the facts of the use of negative words as a killer that you're trying to bring home as a lesson to your audience. And one of the very important things that any very great speaker could have done right at that point was to then explain why you think the use of negative words can cause and wreak havoc on the lives of human beings, helping your audience to trigger their imaginations of some of their experiences they must have had with the use of negative words and how it must have impacted them. More importantly, you then brought it home to a close. Of course, in the course of your delivery, what would I have liked that you do better? Maybe I've paced it more appropriately so that your audience can allow the message of the story sink in better. But then you closed in a way that shows that you're a seasoned Toastmaster who has mastered the art of public speaking. when you expelled the dark imaginations of your audience and you asked them again, repeating the essence of your speech. Do you want to know how to get away with murder? No, it doesn't happen. And that was very fantastic. Well done to you. And I look forward to another speech. Thank you.
Contestant number 3, thank you very kindly for your instructional evaluation. Let's relapse into another 1 minute of tranquility to allow the voting judges to mark their ballots. All right. The timekeeper, thank you very kindly for your pinpoint accuracy. And I want to commend all of you for the respect that we are according to the silence. Contestant number 4. Adirunke Adekombi, if you can hear me, please say speech evaluation contest.
Speech evaluation contest.
I confirm that I can see you as well as hear you. I'd like to inquire if you have already fastened the video of the timekeeper.
I can't find the timer.
He's timer 2. Timer 2. You can see the 3 cue cards on his screen.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to. I could see him when I joined, but now I can't. Yes.
He's timer 2. And he has the 3 cue cards on his screen, the green, the yellow, the red.
Contestant number 4, are you joining from your phone or a laptop?
Yes, again.
Have you achieved success now?
No, I haven't. I don't know why.
You're using a phone?
Yes, I'm using a phone.
So if you find the timer, just double tap on him, timer 2.
I tried doing that. Let me try again.
Gimba, can we spotlight the timekeeper? Can we spotlight him now?
Yes, the timekeeper is spotlighted already. So she should be able to see 3 screens on her main screen, but in case she's not, she could double tap on the timer and it will pin the timer for her.
When you say double tap on the timer, I assume you mean I scroll through the participants and double tap. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, please.
Okay, yeah, that's what I've done, but somehow it's not coming on.
Apologies. You're not supposed to scroll through the participants. Scroll through the gallery. Like just swipe on your phone. That's what you should.
Okay. Aha. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Okay, I'll do that now. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Right. Have you
Yes.
achieved success now?
Correct, I have. I can see the timer.
Right. Contestant number 4. Aderonke Adekombi. Aderonke Adekombi.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Tony Bolajoko, for gracing the stage with your presence. I liked your speech. And as usual, you have a bird song voice, and it's so sweet to listen to. And it's so obvious that you're a veteran, and you displayed just that with your speech. The contest chair, fellow contestants, and guests. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bolajoko. I'm going to just pinpoint some elements of your speech that I really liked. The first part of your speech that I found very enthralling is the fact that you started with a rhetorical question, and then you jumped straight into the middle of the speech. I loved the fact that your body spoke as loudly as your voice. I loved your hand gesticulations. They synced very well with the story you were telling us. Another element of your speech that I particularly found fascinating was the fact that you used vocal variety, particularly when you were speaking like Oladele. I mean, I was certain that Oladele was somewhere inside that room with you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Tony Bolajoko, for trying to tell us the effect domestic violence has in our society. How the fact that you felt you were envying your friend, but then you were eventually glad that you didn't follow, that God did not listen to your prayers when you saw what happened to her. What would I recommend for your speech? I have just 2 recommendations. And the first recommendation is the use of pauses. I loved your speech, but because you're a fast talker, sometimes it has the effect that you are rushing your speech. So imagine if you were able to introduce some deliberate pauses in between your speeches. It would have helped greatly with your transitions. So I felt that if we had more pauses, yes, it would have made the speech a bit more effective. Now, the second recommendation is like the first one. And the second recommendation is the fact that I loved your use of rhetorics. However, you didn't also wait after you asked the question. Yes, we know that when we are using rhetorical questions, you are not expecting the speaker to answer those questions, but at least you would give us the impression that you were waiting for us, to meditate, to think on those things you have said. All in all, I felt this was a solid speech, and I particularly loved the way you exited that speech. How do you get away with murder? You don't. So I'm going to round off this with a quote, just a snippet of one of my favorite speakers. That's Theodore Roosevelt, one of America's past presidents. He said, at the end of the day, it is not the critic that matters, not the man who knows how the doer of the deed could have done a better job. The credit belongs to the man who is in the arena, whose face is marred by dust, by sweat, and by blood, who strives valiantly, who falls again and again because there's no success without failure. And then he knows, at best, he knows the joy of triumph, and at worst, fails, but fails while daring greatly, so that his space will not be with the cold and timid soul who know neither success nor failure. So I dare to say today that your space can never be with the cold and timid soul, the contest chair.
Ronke, many thanks for your instructional evaluation. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go again. 1 minute of quietude to allow the voting judges and the tie-breaking or the qualifying judge to mark the ballots. Contestant number 5, Pamela Elekwachi, if you can hear me, say speech evaluation contest.
Speech evaluation contest.
Right. Have you clipped the video of the timekeeper?
Yes, I can see it right here.
All right. Contestant number 5, Pamela Elekwachi. Pamela Elekwachi.
The contest chair, Toastmasters, and guests. Our test speaker, Bola Joko, delivered a scintillating and exquisite speech that could pass for a script that would show on Telemundo, Nollywood, or even make it to the Oscars. She told us a story about the whirlwind romance that everybody wanted to be part of. But guess what? The title of her speech, The Killer, How to Get Away from Murder. It was quite similar to the American series, How to Get Away with Murder, but this title captivated the audience and everybody wanted to know what exactly is going on. It captivated my imagination, and I'm sure the same for everyone that listened to this speech. She also had a situation where she called in the audience not to judge the title of the speech. And so the participation and the interest of everyone who was in the room peaked. Another thing that was very spectacular about her speech was the use of language, quite colorful, coruscating, and also scintillating. She had words like infectious smile, deep-bellied laughter, center of attraction, had eyes only for Dele. Rather than using the words and using metaphors and words that were close or describe them, it made it more colorful and added more ambience and livelihood to her speech. I also particularly love the way she ended this speech. She ended with a call to action that said domestic violence without saying domestic violence. Keyboard warriors, these are who we are when we are faceless people. And she called everyone, parents, mothers, children, to stand up and stop this bloodless murder. So silently telling us to desist from domestic violence. She also went on and had so many amazing points in her speech. But to make this better, Bola, look at this from this angle. I also saw that when you were describing transitions between your own, the words you had and the words of your friend Abimbola, at some point I was lost as to, was it you speaking or was that dialogue hers? And so it would help if you were able to slow it down and we are able to distinguish between your dialogue and her dialogue, and we are able to follow your story. I also would like to suggest that while you were speaking, you had several opportunities to use pace. So slowing down your pace or adding meaningful pauses. You had words like dead woman walking, soul was missing. She looked dead on the inside. I would have loved to see that death, physical death of your friend in that speech. All in all, you had a beautiful speech about your wonderful topic, about the language, and ended in an upbeat manner and call to action. And if you put in your transitions and pauses, you would have a beautiful speech that will make a very great speech at the World City of Public Speaking, the contest chair.
Contestant number 5, Pamela Elekwachi, thank you very kindly for your instructional evaluation. Let's take 1 minute of wordlessness to allow the voting judges and the tie-breaking judge to mark the ballot. Right. Contestant number 6, Fumi Omotosho. If you can hear me loud and clear, please say speech evaluation contest.
Speech evaluation contest.
Right. Have you fastened the video of the timekeeper?
I'm seeing some cards. I can see it is in my, I didn't pin it, but let me see if I can pin it. I can see the cards. I can see the green, yellow, and red cards.
Right. Very well then. Contestant number 6, Fumi Omotosho. Fumi Omotosho.
Some speeches are easily forgotten, while some other speeches leave a lingering memory with you. Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. Today, we have heard a speech that leaves a lingering memory as Toastmaster Toyin Bolajoko took us on a journey titled How to Commit Murder. First and foremost, what I like about the speech is the structure of the speech. She's began with a rhetorical question. Have you ever wondered how to commit murder and get away with it? That grabbed my attention. It tickled my curiosity and it captivated my imagination. And the way she added some other things, examples of the plans of true life stories to it, it was very beautiful. What I like most about this speech is how Toastmaster Toyin made use of language syntax. She made use of so many linguistic tropes, like when she said beauty to behold. That is constant alliteration, which is beautiful. She also made use of so many beautiful languages when she said that it shocked me out of my marrows. All the use of descriptive language, descriptive adjectives, like the Lexus and our relationship with her. So that was what I like most about that speech. I also like the fact that she closed on a very impactful note, because that's which you close with, that is what lasts long with the audience. What you say last is what lasts longer with the audience. And in terms of suggestion, I would like to suggest that Toastmaster Toyin, when you are talking to Toastmaster Toyin, to please try as much as possible to know her audience and speak their language. She used humor, which was fine when she said, am I a stone? But I expected her to engage the audience more and say, ladies and gentlemen, look at me. Am I a stone? That would have been more engaging with the audience. And, the use of gestures, we also bring home to our point. Then also when she said, then she could have also made use of pauses when she was talking about being Bola talking to her. Pauses, every good speech lies within the pauses. In summation, I commended Toastmaster Toyin for her use of language syntax. I was mesmerized and an impactful closing. And I also recommended to her to engage the audience more, even as she used humor and to use pauses and gestures. And Toastmaster Toyin, I want you to continue to speak, because as Toastmasters, we are not just telling stories, we are not just delivering speeches, but we are changing lives. The contest chair.
Contestant number 6, Fumi Omotosho, much obliged for your instructional evaluation. 1 minute of quietude, please.
Okay, chapter.
Contestant number 7, Olumide Ajibade, if you can hear me, please say speech evaluation contest.
Speech evaluation contest.
Right, confirm to me that you have clipped the video of the timekeeper.
I've done that.
Right. Contestant number 7, Olumide Ajibade. Olumide Ajibade.
Don't you wonder how people get away with murder? The contest chair, fellow Toastmasters and guests, and of course, Oluwatoyin. Those 9 words are what you get in a box office movie trailer. You made us stay glued to our seats. Those eating popcorn couldn't continue because they wanted to listen to you. You gave us a snippets. Oluwatoyin, your speech organization is out of this world. Your opening, the body of your speech, and the conclusion is excellent. What stood out for me was your storytelling skills. You told stories like a real movie producer, a writer. You didn't only do it, and an excellent thing about a good storyteller is that they take us from where we are to where they want us to be. Oluwatoyin took me from the Scooby-Doo that I am to see Dele act in the rage. She animated the way Dele was doing. I took it from the gutters. I felt like eating Dele, but I'm a gentleman. I wouldn't do that. You told a story that is relatable and a trendy one, the one of Osinachi. People see it all over the blogs and news. It is a wonderful story. You told it well. Also, you spoke about Abimbola. I love the fact you related it to your own life experience. Also, your vocal variety was top notch. When you were asking Bimbola, Bimbo, you've changed. You spoke how someone would tell a friend, speak to a friend you are looking for information from. You were gentle, you were calm with the way you vocalized it. You also, after Abimbola followed Oluwatoyin to the house, ladies and gentlemen, you will notice when Oluwatoyin said, when she spoke with her, she felt dead. That statement is a show of despair. The vocal variety, artists speak. I love that aspect. Ladies and gentlemen, I have 2 recommendations for Oluwatoyin. While she had a great speech, I think the gestures can be minimized. What too much gestures does is that people only look out for the negatives. I noticed when she was talking about her beauty, and she did like this. Beauty for a lady can be animated like this, or putting your hands, or putting her hands around the face. Also, I noticed when she said they stopped talking, the hands were like this. Stop talking can be vocalized like this. And also, she can act on her pauses. In all, she had an excellent story, a wonderful opening, a vocal variety. Let her just work on the pauses and the gesture. She is a great speaker. Over to you, the contest chair.
Contestant number 7, Olumide Ajibade, thank you very kindly for your instructional evaluation. Another 1 minute of tranquility, please. Contestant number 8, Queen Nkubre. If you can hear me loud and clear, please say speech evaluation contest.
Speech evaluation contest.
All right, confirm to me that you have fastened the video feed of the contest timekeeper.
Yes.
Brilliant. Contestant number 8, Queen Nkubre. Queen Nkubre.
How to Get Away with Murder. That is such a captivating title. Tony, when you started, I thought, is she going to talk about the brilliant Shonda Rhimes TV show, or is she going to talk about something else? Either way, it was a title that captivated everyone. And even though I haven't committed any crimes, I'm not trying to get away with anything, I was hooked and I was engaged throughout your speech. You use the skill of suspense and captivation in 3 major ways: your title, your speech plots, and storytelling. And you went on to deliver a speech with a social message, with a psychological, mental, and emotional message embedded in drama and suspense thriller. So well done. With your storytelling, you used your speech was littered with poetic gems, with tasteful grammatical expressions that painted a vivid picture of Abimbola's experience. You had phrases like, she was dead on the inside, her soul was missing. These are things that helped us to visualize what Abimbola was going through. And with your speech, you took us there. We could smell her perfume. We could see everything that she was experiencing because of how you arranged your words for us. So well done with that as well. However, there were a few grammatical errors, and there were a few times that you stumbled on a few words. Perhaps you had a perfect phrase that you wanted to use, and maybe you missed the word, and so you were trying to get yourself together again. Still, that did not distract from your message. It's just a reminder that if you don't have those exact words, move on to a new set of words that send across that same message. And for example, you also had an error like she was so speechless rather than she was speechless. Still, you went ahead and you kept delivering your speech. Your vocal variety, your body language, these things added emphatic effect to your message. When you said you were shocked, you shook. And even while I was listening, I was also shocked as well. So you drove across your message with your body language and your vocal variety as well. And at the end of your message, which was also a high point, was your conclusion, where you stated, how do you get away with murder? And I was eager, I was listening. How do I get away with it? Just in case I want to. And then you told us we don't. That was the ultimate mic drop and the perfect conclusion to that speech. Again, you captivated us and definitely kept us engaged throughout your speech. Well done. The contest chair.
Contestant number 8, Queen Nkubre, thank you very kindly for your instructional evaluation. At this juncture of the contest protocol, we are going to give the voting judges and the qualifying or tie-breaking judge 2 minutes to mark their ballots and total up their scores. The timekeeper, please indicate the red card at the expiration of the 2 minutes mark. All right. Dear contestants, panel of judges, leaders of our clubs, areas, divisions, districts, and regions, my fellow Toastmasters, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am enraptured to rationalize that is the end of the speech evaluation contests. If you believe that those evaluations were meaningful, forceful, and purposeful, please unmute your microphone and let's make some noise for all of the contestants.
Yeah, awesome.
Make some noise. Thank you very kindly for your compassion, for your consideration, for your cooperation throughout the contests. At this juncture, I am going to interview the contestants. We would have to meet the contestants while the chief judge and the voting judges and the ballot counters and the timekeepers are completing the results behind closed doors. The first contestant I will interview is Toastmaster Ibrahim Kasim. Gimba, are the certificates ready?
Yes, sir. On your cue, we will display them.
All right. Toastmaster Ibrahim Kasim is a seasoned electrical engineer. He's a member of Ikeja Toastmasters Club and has come here today to represent Area 16. Ibrahim, I will ask you just one question. Tell us why you earned 2 master's degrees.
This is in line with my unsurpassed proclivity, if you want, predilection for academic excellence. So I felt one is not enough. Let me get one more. Perhaps I'm still going ahead.
Whoa, you must have an insatiable predilection for academic gymnastics, learning, and inquiry. Many thanks. On behalf of Division F, I would like to congratulate you on your irrevocable decision to participate in today's speech evaluation contest. Toastmaster Ibrahim Kasim, may I request Gimba to please plaster the certificate on the screen now. I would ask all of you one question because of time. Many thanks for that, Ibrahim Kasim. Well done. Bless your heart. Second contestant, Adeniro Umitayo. For the record, Adeniro is an engineer. He's a member of Eagle Toastmasters Club and has come here today to represent Area 17. Umitayo, are you there?
I'm with you.
Right. Adeniro, you mentioned in your biographical sketch that what inspires you is nature. In one sentence or two, tell us the type of inspiration that you garner from nature.
Okay, I think it's just life. You know, when you see nature in its true self, no makeup, no aesthetics, it's just nature. So definitely when you relate your life with nature, you will have it smoothly, like nature as well.
Oh, that sounds profound. Adeniro, thank you very kindly. And I want to congratulate you most heartily for your imperishable decision to participate in the 2022 speech evaluation contest of Division F. Gimba, please plaster that beautifully exquisite certificate on the screen. Adeniro, there it is. Congratulations. Well done. Bless your heart. Contestant number 3, Olayiwola Adeyemi. For the record, Olayiwola works for an international auditing firm known as KPMG, and he's a member of Eagle Toastmasters Club. And today, came here to represent Area 17 as well. Olaiwola Adeyemi, you mentioned that what inspires you are excellence, intelligence, and music. In one sentence or two, how does music serve as a fount of inspiration for you, Olaiwola?
Okay, thank you very much, the contest chair. For me, music has always been fundamental to my existence, right from my earliest days as a child. I would like to think of it as that alternative where I draw inspiration, creativity, manage my emotions, make myself happy, and really and truly, if you want to get the best out of me, it is when I'm listening to good music. Because as an addition to that as well, I love to dance, right? And music is a trigger for all of these expressions, whether it's even with my intellectual self, whether it's with my creative self, anywhere you find good music, honestly, that is where you will find me. So music is very fundamental to my existence ever since a very young age and even till now. Yeah.
Wow, it is fascinating to hear that you dance as well.
Absolutely, I love to dance.
I want to resist the temptation. Anyway, I want to resist the temptation to deepen the discussion with you because I'd like to interview others on account of time. Thank you very kindly, Olaiwola Adeyemi, and I want to, more crucially, congratulate you on your decision to participate or partake in today's speech evaluation contest. Well done. Bravo, Olaiwola, bravo. Right, contestant number 4, Aderonke Adekombi. For the record, Aderonke is a project manager on the story. She's a member of Toastmasters Club. Austin, please. She's a member of Toastmasters Club, and today she came to represent Area 19. Aderonke, are you there? What type of stories do you love to tell?
Hi, Toastmaster Craig. Interesting stories. I don't know, how do you categorize stories, really? Unless you're talking about the way you academically classify stories, which I don't think that's what you're referring to. So I think you're referring to the kind of like, what kind of stories? Like stories where the clothes of the kind of stories that inspires them, or the kind of situations that inspire them, sorry. So I really, when you ask me what kind of story do I like to tell, situational stories.
All right, that's lovely. Situational stories and stories where the cloth of what again? Can you please recapitulate that?
Okay, so what I was saying is stories where the cloth of the situations you are trying to tell them in, like the plots of that stories. So when you are trying to classify them, yes. So.
All right, heavens above. Thank you very kindly for that clarification, Ronke Adekombi. On behalf of Division F, I congratulate or felicitate you on your enchanting decision to partake in today's speech evaluation contest. There it is, your magnificent certificate. Well done.
Thank you.
Next contestant, right, don't mention it. Our next contestant is Pamela Elekwachi. Pamela, are you there?
Yes, Shirley.
I can see you smiling already like a Cheshire cat. I was perusing your biographical sketch and something stood out like a brightly beautiful bird in the midst of a rookery of penguins. You said your best liked quotation is, "There's always free cheese in a mousetrap." You never saw a happy mouse there. in one sentence or two, what is the meaning of this quotation for you?
It simply means if you have something handed out to you on a platter, it's never satisfying. There is always something hanging over your head, a price you have to pay that no one else sees. So that's the story for me. Thank you.
Oh, the price you have to pay that no one else sees. I think that is provocatively intriguing. Thank you very kindly for your insights. And more profoundly, I'd like to congratulate you on behalf of Division F for your participation in today's contest. Well done. Bravo.
Thank you very much. This is a wonderful birthday present. Today is my birthday, and
oh, happy natal lit your day.
Thank you very much. Thank you most kindly.
Right. Our next contestant is Olumide Ajibade. Olumide is
You are
Chair, you appear to be muted.
muted.
Oh, crucify me. Permit me to mention first that Pamela Elekwachi is a member of Sunshine Toastmasters Club. She is a human resources generalist, and today she came to represent Area 18. Our next contestant is, you know him, don't you? Toastmaster Olumide Ajibade. Olumide, for the record, is a member of Ikeja Toastmasters Club, and he's an auto technician, professionally speaking. And today, guess what? He came to represent Area 16. Olumide, you believe that possibilities are boundless. Why? Olumide, your microphone, please.
Okay. Yes, I believe possibilities are boundless. I'll give you a story. Slum to school, Chairs in the Slum, Sunday Onokoya, was started under the bridge in Oshodi, where no one looks, where you only find street urchins, area boys committing all manner of crimes. Patrice Evra, a Manchester United great player, visited them about a fortnight ago. So I believe in possibilities and many other things that when you push for it, they are bound to happen.
Right, when you push for possibilities, they are bound to happen. Thank you very kindly. That is incisive, introspective, and instructive. Well done, Olumide Ajibade. More significantly, on behalf of Division F, I'd like to felicitate you on your decision or your resolve to participate in today's contest. Bravo! Well done. Well done. Next contestant, Queen Unkubre. Queen, are you there? Fumi Amatosho, I'll come to you shortly. Let me interview Queen, and then I'll come to Fumi Amatosho. Queen, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right. For the record, ladies and gentlemen, Queen is a dance and fitness coach. She is a member of Lighthouse Prestige Toastmasters Club, and she came today under the auspices of Area 18. Queen, tell us about your predilection for dancing. What type of dance do you do exactly, and why?
So I always feel like dance is a great exercise, and it's usually like an exercise in disguise, because you don't know how much you've exercised till you go home, until the next day, till your body feels sore. So dance was always the choice of exercise I wanted to practice and encourage others to practice. And since I primarily work with women, I chose to do pole dance fitness, which is something that women are more inclined or more interested in practicing. So dance was, the exercise choice.
Ha! That's right. Thank you very kindly, Toastmaster Queen Umpubre, for your solid resolve to participate in today's contest. There it is, your magnificent certificate of participation. Bravo, well done, bravo. All right, so let's go straight now to Fumi Omotosho, who is already smiling beatifically. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to inform you that Fumi Omotosho is an entrepreneur and behavioral coach. She is a member of Merit Toastmasters Club, and today she came under the aegis of Area 19. Fumi, I observed that you don't miss Toastmasters meetings. Why is that?
I don't know how to say this, but in the Toastmasters promise, it is written that we read it all the time, that you have to be dedicated to Toastmasters. I believe that whatever is worth doing well. Everything I want to do in life, I go for it, hook, line, and sinker. So that's why I've been able to dedicate time and spare time and make sure that I show up every time Toastmasters is having a meeting.
You know, the expression that struck or touched a chord with me was when you said, anything I want to do, I go for it, hook, line, and sinker. That's an expression I discovered recently in the Oxford Idioms Dictionary. Thank you very kindly, Fumi Omotosho.
Thank you, Contest Chair.
Congratulations on your resolution to partake in today's contest. Bravo, well done, well done, well done. Let's give them the jazz hand like this, everybody. Jazz hand like this, everybody. Jazz hand. Well done to all of you, the contestants. Well done, well done, well done, well done. All right, so I'm going to announce the results before you can say Jack Robinson. But in the meantime, I am obliged to relinquish control of the limelight to our industrious, level-headed contest moderator, Toastmaster Abubakar Gimba.
Thank you so much, Mr. Contest Chair. Please give Toastmaster Dr. Craig a round of applause if you enjoyed that session. And if you were particularly excited about the contest, if you've had fun, let's give the contestants a thunderous round of applause as well. I sure did. This was time well spent. Now, we will quickly go over the results of the international speech contests. Then we'll come back and hear the results of the evaluation speech contests. We take the closing remarks and we call it a day.
Excellent. Well done, everyone. I am truly excited. So big congratulations to all our contestants. You've all done exceedingly well. Do we have any sort of drum rolls, Zoom Master, so we can create the atmosphere here? Because the winners definitely deserve it. Or do we unmute and give a drum roll as we call out the winners? I would say that there's no disqualification due to time. There was no disqualification at all. So on that note, the third place winner for 2020 Division F, District 94 International Speech Contest is there any form of drum roll at all?
Please confirm the year.
Fantastic. That is Toastmaster Uchenna Iheanacho, our third place winner. A round of applause, please. A round of applause. Unmute briefly and give her a round of applause, please.
Bravo, bravo, bravo.
Bravo, well done, well done. It's not easy when we're doing contests. Well done, well done, well done. Now moving on to the second place winner for 2022 District 94 Division F International Speech Contest is Emmanuel Emma. Drum rolls.
Wow, bravo, Emmanuel, bravo.
I can't see your faces. Is it possible for us to briefly just spotlight as we call the winners, so we can see their faces and hopefully see the excitement of their faces because they deserve it? So congratulations to our second place winner. And now, drum rolls please for our first place winner for the 2022 District 94 Division F International Speech Contest is Toastmaster. Darren Agogovia. Where is he? Man of power. Power. He's so tensed. I need you to relax. All the hard work has paid off. Well done, well done. You certainly gave an amazing speech. I will give my feedback later on. I couldn't do that as contest chair, but honestly, your speech was superb. Well done, well done, well done. All right, so obviously with this, our contestants move on to the second level of the competition. And I wish you all excellence. I know you will definitely be representing your clubs beautifully. So on that note, I'll hand back to the moderator so that we can get the Toastmaster Abubakar. You are phenomenal, honestly. Thank you so much for all that you do, so that we can get the results for the evaluation speech contest. So I hand over back to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Madam Contest Chair. Thank you very much. We would like to hand over control to the evaluations contest chair to share the results of the evaluations contest with us. Dr. Craig.
Toastmaster Bubakar Gimbar, permit me to apprise you that the collation of the results is still ongoing. The Chief Judge has informed me a smattering of minutes ago that the results would be ready before we can say Jack Robinson.
Jack Robinson. Thank you so much, Mr. Contest Chair. So we would just hold on a bit with the result of the evaluations contest. We would just hold on. While we do that, let us hear from the winner, Toastmaster Endeared. Should we have you back on stage?
Toastmaster Abubakar, you would put me on the spot. Eh?
If someone wins at the division level, you would be sure, at least you'd be comfortable knowing that they wouldn't be shy. So Toastmaster Endeared, talk to us. What was the genesis of this speech? What brought about it?
Genesis. I think you put a lot of pressure on me to decide on a title early. And so, so I thought of what would be a good one-word topic that would give me the freedom to think of other things. And so I think with just the recent events with the war and the Will Smith situation, power was a conversation that I was having frequently. And so I thought, let's use that word, and then decided on that word at the beginning of the week, and then just started thinking through experiences that have shaped my relationship with that word. And then I remembered this story, and then everything just came together last night. And here we are.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. We look forward to listening to you at the district level. I hope you have plans for that.
I do now.
Thank you so much. I would like to call the, congratulations once again. I would like to call Toastmaster Craig, the evaluations contest master, back on stage. I believe he has the list of winners now.
Toastmaster Gimba, I am cocooned in exhilaration to inform you that the results are ready. In point of fact, as far as the speech evaluation contest is concerned.
Dear contest chair, please. I will just send you a message. Please look at it.
That is all right. Mr. Chief Judge, I don't understand the last message. You have to clarify it. I have seen it, but I don't understand it. All right, I suppose I understand what you mean now. Ladies and gentlemen, what is currently ongoing is in consonance with the Toastmaster speech contest tradition. The Chief Judge can intervene, or even the ballot counter, during the announcement of the results. All right, it's clarified now, Mr. Chief Judge. Ladies and gentlemen, the third place finisher for the speech evaluation contest is Toastmaster all the way from area 19. Aderonke Adekombi.
Congratulations.
Aderonke Adekombi, third place finisher for the speech evaluation contests. Congratulations. Second place winner or finisher is Toastmaster Pamela Elekwachi, all the way from Sunshine, Toastmasters Club. Pamela Elekwachi, congratulations on your triumph. Congratulations, well done. Who is the first place winner? Who is going to take the Division F ticket to the district's annual conference to partake in the speech evaluation championship title or slugfest? Ladies and gentlemen, I am cock-a-hoop to announce that the first place winner of the speech evaluation contest is Toastmaster Olayiwola Adeyemi.
Wow, congratulations.
Olayiwola, unmute your microphone and tell us how you feel about your triumph. You're going to the district to represent our division. How do you feel about that? Your microphone, please.
I said I'm extremely happy about this. More importantly, being able to do it alongside with a fellow Eagle, Tia Mediri, is such an absolute delight. Thank you very much, everyone.
All right, I wish you all the best at the districts in May. It has been great, it has been fun, but my time here is done. I'd like to thank the Chief Judge, distinguished Toastmaster Abubakar Nakanabo.
Yes.
I would like to thank as well the contest moderator, Toastmaster Abubakar Gimba. Thank as well the timekeeper, the SAA, Senator Fomi, the ballot counters, all of the contest functionaries. More profoundly and significantly, I'd like to thank the contestants, without whom we would not have had a contest today. Thank you all very kindly. You are superstars. At a contest like this, we don't have losers. One person would win, and we all would grow from the experience. That is the beauty of a Toastmasters contests. My message for all of you is, life is a puzzle. You can only see the picture when you put the pieces together. Back to you, Toastmaster Bubakar Gimba.
Thank you so much, Mr. Contest Chair. It's always a delight listening to you. I have just been informed that Mr. Program Quality Director, who was supposed to give us the closing remarks, is unavailable, and he has given me the mandate to go ahead. On behalf of Division F, District 94, I would like to thank everybody for joining the call today. I would like to first of all start by congratulating the contestants, the winners on paper, because even the ones that did not win are winners. Why? Because you must have learned something. The nerves, the pressure, the sweat, the practice, everything culminates into learning, and that is precisely the reason why we are in Toastmasters. Just because you don't have that title of winner doesn't mean you did not win. And I always say there is always a next year. So make it your aim, your objective to see your name at the top come next year, 2023, where we would still battle it again. I would also like to thank everyone else, the Toastmasters, guests alike, for joining the call. Without you, there wouldn't be a contest. I would like to thank the organizers, the chief judges, the contest chairs, DTM Toju, distinguished Toastmaster Oluyemi, the contest chair, DTM Abubakar Nakanabo, my namesake. It's so weird calling my name. I would also like to thank Toastmaster Craig, or distinguished Toastmaster Craig in the making, for such an amazing contest. Let's not forget the role players for today, the ballot counters, Toastmaster Josephine Agolo and Toastmaster Seven Joy Jumbo, the timers, Toastmaster Ayola Fadeyi and Toastmaster Lawrence. Let's also thank the SAA for today, Toastmaster Senator. And again, Toastmaster Abdullah Jimo is the program quality director. He was behind closed doors, making sure we are doing the right thing. And finally, I would like to thank Madam Division Director herself, distinguished Mr. Chidi. Without her guidance and experience, this wouldn't have been possible. She was intervening at the right times to make sure we are doing the right thing. So thank you so much for your wisdom, your guidance, and your leadership, distinguished Mr. Chidi, ma'am. I would like to, at this point, hand over control to nobody. Let us close the meeting room, and fellow Toastmasters and guests, enjoy the rest of the weekend, enjoy the rest of the holiday. Happy holidays, and let's revel in the just concluded Division F speech contest. Imagine this is the gavel, and the meeting is closed. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Toastmaster Gimba, well done, sir.
Thank you.
Well done, Toastmaster Abubakar. Well done. Thank you all. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
you.
Craig.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Toastmaster Abubakar.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Sir Gimba Abubakar, Ramadan Kareem.
Mr. PQD. Thank you very much. Good evening.